Good morning, Morgan.
Morning, Mr. Freeman.
Good morning, Joyce.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Hello.
Rise and shine, Stubby. Wake up.
Wake up, wake up.
Wake up, Joyce.
Wake up, Mr. Freeman. Wake up and smell the ashes.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Brunch with Boater. Thank you very much for watching the new pre-show that I put together. I had a lot of fun working on that yesterday, and it was just about time to update it with some new clips. Some of those being new since that was last recorded, I think, in maybe February of 2023, before the audiobook production had even happened. And then that actual pre-show debuted in July, as I had some audiobook clips. So now it's like fully scripted in with the audiobook and all that. There's the throw over to youtube.com/boaterbug, which during the St. Jude season, that segment specifically gets replaced with a highlight from St. Jude and talking about that. What I don't mention in there is the various ways to support the stream. Probably should have, now that I'm thinking about it. Partially thinking about it because I am thinking of updating the Ko-Fi support panel. If you are on desktop, at least, you go here and you go down and there's all the different ways that you can support the channel and such like that, one of them being Ko-Fi. And I haven't had that car in like 5 years, so I was like, I should replace that. And then I was, thinking of like, oh, cool photos I have, and there's this one from a location scout, and then the location from that scout I ended up using there's the car again. But I do like the cosplay shot. So what do you think? What's your favorite of the three? And let me know. And then it is probably time to start getting into I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. But yeah, do we like the photo shoot with Faith 200,000 miles, pensive looking off into the distance? Do we like just Winter, pensive looking off into the distance? Or do we like Suikoden 4 cosplay and let's be silly, throw the car in there too at the location from the second shot? I love when there's a cliff like that and you get that cascading ice over it. It's such a cool effect. Nobody's saying anything, so maybe we come back to this later. Alright. Middle and right. Okay, so at least one of the two new ones. Because this is the older one. These are the two newer ones. So, alright, good to know. We'll come back to that. Maybe we'll have more people in at the end of the stream. I can rope in Shady, and Riggy has said that she's probably not going to make it to stream. She messaged me to let me know that she has something else going on. And then Ditzy might drop in later. Not sure. We'll find out as long as we're talking about our Exocolonist crew. But in the meantime, let's start the game. Library. I don't feel like minimizing because I was a teenage exocolonist. Here we go. And let's get to the proper, like that. No, Ditzy comes in, lets us know when they're here, so that's fine. Although my stream deck is currently saying that there are 2 people in chat right now, so it might just be you and Nightbot. Have a nice conversation. Do ! All wings report in. In the meantime, continue. Or any of the commands, really. But okay, so when we left off, the greenhouse had just been destroyed by the last attack during Glow. And we're now going to be 15 going through this year. I forget if we talked to everyone or if they just don't really have anything to say right now. We have a lot to be thankful for. We're still alive. That has to count for something, right? Man, it's a good thing that we have a lot of food stores, because geoponics getting destroyed like that? That's rough. So, engineering is the only thing we can do, actually. We can't even go exploring right now. So, oh, I don't even think I can relax. I don't think that there's anything I can do to relax. Well, what's the point of having all these kudos if I can't actually use them to, like, buy stuff we need? Like, hello? It's not like I can mail order more supplies through the wormhole. Yeah, because all the relaxed places, and here I am with 87 stress. It's fine. I do take less stress when something happens. Mourn and rebuild. Okay. Those are my options. Engineering is crammed with families and what belongings they've salvaged from the destroyed living quarters. You could spend time in your temporary lodging in the classroom, or help the adults try to fix things. We're gonna try to rebuild. I think I might have done mourn last time because, you know, parents were dying and all that, but we're gonna go with rebuild. What's this do for us? Toughness? Organizing? The first month of quiet passes, each day plotting one after the other. You still have trouble sleeping in the classroom barracks, but there's nowhere else to go. Every day you wake with the others and try to make the best of it. Grief and anger come in waves, not just for you, but for everyone. Some days are better than others. For fun, the unavailability to get things shipped that could be used as a botch. You're assigned to help rebuild the walls. The first part of the month is spent just dragging away the wreckage, sorting it into salvage or recycling. By the time that's done, crews disassembling parts of the stratospheric have delivered enough salvage that you can begin work patching up the walls. A sense of urgency permeates the crew. After everything, people need to feel safe. This is on the work crew with you, something he does begrudgingly. Walls didn't help the first time, he grumbles whenever anyone asks for his opinion. We should just tear them all down and live like the animals do. If someone planted a bunch of buildings on my land, I'd be pissed too. What do you think? Work hard, rebuild the walls, or... This is right, this is pointless. Skill increases reduced by 1 for 3 months, which will counteract our +1 to physical skill increases. But also physical skill reduced by 1, heal by relaxing. Yeah. Work hard. By the end of the month, you've made noticeable progress. There are other priorities, and not a lot of construction material. But when last year's mushwood harvest is done drying out, you'll be able to do more. Even if this is right that it didn't help the first time, it's better than nothing. Really need to rest. Okay. Do I want to leave it at that, or do I want to... Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Super Goal feels a little not worried about it right now. The sun's finally dawn again on your birthday. You wake early and climb to the top of engineering to watch the first sun's watery rays break the horizon as the wormhole recedes across the sky. Dawn should represent hope after a long period of darkness, but this light only reveals the full extent of the damage to the colony. You've been having trouble sleeping, like most people. It's hard to rest crammed into the classroom with all the other kids and their families. And every time you close your eyes, you see... You shake your head to clear the memories. Is there anything you could have done? Or is the colony destined to be destroyed no matter what you do? You pull your blanket more tightly around your shoulders. Not your blanket, that one's gone. And stare out as the sun rises on the horizon, meager and sickly. Hey kiddo, you hear, and your mom comes and sits down beside you. Thought I'd find you here. You both sit in silence for a while, watching the sunrise pick out all the broken glass littering the fields, glimmering like a field of stars. After a few minutes, your mom nudges you with her elbow. So, she says, your first apocalypse, huh? She huffs, smiling self-deprecatingly. First one's always the hardest, she sighs. When the first colony was attacked, back on Earth, I thought that was it. Everything my parents told me about, the power of community, all that, I thought they were full of shit too. I'm gonna reiterate, I didn't get this conversation last time because she died during the famine. So this is cool to see. She turns and gives you a serious look. It's okay to be sad right now. And mad, too. I'm mad as hell. I want to get out there and rip every goddamn mushroom out of the ground. That's keeping me going for now. But that's not going to be forever, Sabote, she continues. Eventually that sadness and rage is going to cool, and you have to figure out how to feel after that. She points at your chest. Hope lives here, she says. It's the human condition. We just don't know when to give up. Your mom squints out into the sunrise. I had to figure out how to have hope too. I needed it to get on a busted-up spaceship with your dad and launch myself through a wormhole. Hope's why we had you. She smiles. Things work out in unusual ways, Sabote. It just takes time. You watch the sunrise together for a few more minutes. After a bit, your mom pulls out a little box tied with a piece of gardening twine. From your father and I, she says. Happy birthday, kiddo. You know what it is before you open it. It's your old medallion, the one your dad made with the sun on it to represent Earth. Oh, sorry. You know what it is before you open it. Your old medallion, the one your dad made with the sun on it to represent Earth, was broken during the attack. In all the chaos, you didn't even notice, but your parents did and made you a new one. It's just like you remembered. A similar design with a wormhole this time to represent Fortumna. Which, again, last time through I only got from my dad, not from my mom. You thank her and squint out at the swirling wormhole still barely visible in the brightening sky. It's so massive and awe-inspiring this time of year, but it always seems to herald disaster. You're happy to watch it fade away into the daylight. Your mom lets out a dark chuckle and slaps you on the back. What a birthday. Here's to another one, right? You both head back downstairs to the wreckage of the canteen, where they've put up temporary roofing with whatever tarps and scraps could be found. The colony nanoprinters, the few that still run, have been working day and night to replace the necessities of life, but larger construction projects are going to take some time. Aunt Dan has coaxed the kitchen nanoprinters into making soy gruel and press bars. Life-sustaining, but depressing. You and the other colonists eat your breakfast in stony silence as you mentally prepare for the day. Governor Utica looks more frail than you've ever seen her, but her eyes remain determined. We saved her. Last week they held a mass funeral for everyone who died. There's talk of turning the Stratospheric's destroyed front half into a memorial shrine after everything useful has been salvaged. There's still so much to do. Mid-quiet, and I'm super stressed. Tangent paces outside the engineering wing, the only building still standing. With everyone living in here, there's barely enough room to think. This wretched planet? That was my ship! Oh, we didn't talk to Anemone. We can't talk to Anemone. She's probably in mourning somewhere over calm. Papa can fix this. Maybe the new colony can have a hoverboard park, Cal says, putting on a brave smile. That'd be pretty cool, right? Alright, so we absolutely have to take the Morn action because we've got so much stress right now. Work has begun on clearing out the destroyed front half of the Stratospheric. The living quarters are among the worst damaged, a maze of twisted metal and abandoned personal belongings. Almost everything is covered with a fine dusting of spark snow, with deeper drifts accumulating in the corners. You almost don't recognize your family's quarters as you explore it with the flashlight on your holopalm. The warm, comforting space that you called home for 15 years looks almost alien out of context, but also completely ordinary in that strangeness. Just like every other family suite you've crawled through. Oh, I would have gotten +1 empathy. I need that shit. Meh. No, morning status. You grew up here. Evenings with your parents curled up in your bunk while they laughed and talked into the night. Your dad reading to you, doing silly voices. Your mom, stern and distant as she could sometimes be, relaxing as she walked through these doors and stopped being chief cultivator. Do we look for our personal belongings, or do we try to leave the childhood toys in the past? I'll ask again, do we look for our personal belongings, or do we leave our childhood toys behind? I don't know if that actually means that we would lose a card. The photo fauna, maybe. I thought we had a plush. Maybe it was taken from us and we'd be able to find it again. Maybe we'd lose the animal book. I'm gonna look for our personal belongings. Most of what you find isn't worth keeping. Bedding soaked with acidic snow, photos that have been bleached white, clothing you don't care about. Almost everything would serve the colony better by being recycled. You do find something worth keeping, though. Somehow, the animal picture book that your dad gave you is still dry and safe under your bed. You open it and flip through the pages. Colorful earth animals leap off the page. Lions, tigers, elephants. Animal book. Animals you've never seen, but you used to pore over them with this, imagining what it would be like to have animal friends. The animals here aren't quite so friendly. You sit on what used to be your bunk and look up at the torn open ceiling. Far overhead, the swirling spark snow seems to blend in with the lilac gray sky. Everything is perfectly quiet, save the groaning of the ship, swaying and settling. It's just you and the memories of the place where you grew up. A place you'll never set foot in again. A rustling from down the hall catches your attention. Tammy pokes her head into your room, her shoulders sagging when she sees you. She's looking a bit better, but she's only recently been allowed to leave the med bay after being injured when the Faceless tore through the creche. Her movements are slow and deliberate as she picks her way across the room. "There you are," she says, sounding a little winded. "You okay?" "Oh, this is your quarters, isn't it?" Wouldn't lose anything. Okay, good to know. Tammy takes a seat next to you, swinging her feet over the edge of the bunk. You can barely see her in the dim light, but her presence is comforting. My dad used to say that fixating on everything that could go wrong was my way of preparing for it. Like if I'd worried about everything. Like I'd worry about everything, so if it happened I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we would have lost the animal book. Who knows? Or maybe it would be replaced by like memories of the animal book or something with slightly different stats. She stares down at her feet, dangling over the edge. I guess there's something so big and so scary, you don't even know you're supposed to be scared of them. I'm not even frightened of what's going to happen next anymore. I'm just tired. I want those empathy gains. You both lapse into silence, content to watch the dust motes drift lazily through the light from your holopalm, till it's time to head back. This place isn't home anymore. There's no going back to the way things were. Boy Sabote, you're right about that. Those are solid cards. Let's keep those. You're eating in the mess tents when you hear something rumbling. Your bowl and cutlery start rattling. People look around in alarm. Could it be another attack so soon? You begin to hear shouting from outside. Someone runs into the tent. "There's something falling from the sky!" they shout. "It's on fire!" You join the crowd of people leaving your temporary structures to gather in the colony square. People are squinting up into the milky, quiet sunlight, pointing and gesturing wildly. It's impossible to miss the thing hurtling towards you from space, like a great big ball of fire coming straight towards you. Is this it? Is this the end? After all you've been through, a meteor's gonna land in the middle of your already ruined colony and kill you all? Mars grabs your shoulder. It's another ship, she exclaims. Look, look, it's another spaceship from Earth. Excitement ripples through the crowd. Could it be? You stare up, unbelieving at the rapidly approaching ship. The flames of its entry into the atmosphere dissipate, but a thick column of greasy black smoke trails behind it. Soon you can hear the whistle of it rippling through the atmosphere at terminal velocity. I don't think this one really matters too much for choice. It's coming right at us! It's an enormous ship coming at you way too fast. The ship's reverse thrusters fire, trying to slow it down so it doesn't smash into a billion pieces when it hits the planet. Everyone scatters to take cover. You crouch behind some rocks, throw your arms over your head, and squeeze your eyes shut. You hear the massive spaceship touch down in geoponics, plowing through the fields and grinding over what was left of the greenhouses. You're thrown to the ground from the force of the impact as shrapnel and small rocks zing past your head. It grinds along like some roaring monster, cutting a great scar through the colony and kicking up an enormous cloud of dust. Finally, the ship comes to a creaking, shuddering halt. You and the other colonists carefully crawl out of your hiding places, coughing and rubbing your eyes. The new ship is half buried and obscured by dust, but you can tell it's from Earth. You squint to make out stenciled letters. Heliopause. A hatch opens in its side and silhouettes begin to emerge. Silhouettes with guns. So I'm realizing that in my first playthrough I found out more about the background of the Vertumna project. I don't know how I did that, but I did not do that this time, so this is coming as more of a surprise. Soldiers march out of the dust and quickly surround all the remaining colonists. More soldiers form two parallel lines from the ship to the square, their guns in parade rest, and a lone figure strides down the center towards you. Greetings, fugitives of Earth, the man says, spreading his hands wide. A dismayed murmur ripples through the crowd. The adults exchange significant looks. Chief Engineer Instance tries to slip out of the crowd, but she's stopped by the line of soldiers. The man smiles. He has a broad, easygoing smile that doesn't match the threatening aura of the soldiers, nor the smoking ruin of the ship behind him. I'm Commander Lum, he says proudly. As captain of the Heliopause, I've come to render aid and bring you to justice. Do we listen, or do we maybe try to sneak away? I think last time I tried to listen, but I don't really remember. Did you do more in the depot last playthrough? Yeah, I did. I did do more deliveries in the depot. So that would probably have triggered it. See, I'm sure Dis is already out of here. The Heliopause soldiers have the colonists surrounded and jump you gently but forcefully back into the crowd. Alright, we'll listen then. Udicat steps forward from the crowd. You're not the commander of the Heliopause, she says firmly. Where is the person I was speaking to? Commander Morikawa. I'm sorry, what? Everyone is surprised. Udicat has been in communication with the ship for how long? Yo! I am the captain of the Heliopause, Lum relates stubbornly, then adds, according to the chain of command. We sustained significant loss of personnel when we went through the wormhole. You can't help but notice many of the soldiers exchange looks this time. You wonder how many people had to die before Lum became commander. As the commanding officer, I declare this colony to be under our protection. As such, you are now subject to the laws of Earth. To be quite blunt, young man, it appears you need us as much as we need you, Udicat replies primly. The Vertumnian colony, such as it is, offers our hospitality to our guests from Earth. Lum opens his mouth, but Udicat cuts him off. Now, there's no need for this posturing. Whatever the purpose of your mission here, you'll soon learn that on this side of the wormhole we are all human. Right now, we need each other more than we need mandates from Earth. Udicat was not alive when I did this before, and I forget if Seek knew about the Heliopause coming, but this is playing out differently. Udicat returns to the assembled colonists. Effective immediately, I will be stepping down as governor and turning leadership of the council to Lum of the Heliopause, she says. She smiles genially at him. I hope that will satisfy your craving for justice, at least while we get our feet under us. Judging from the number of guns on display, you don't think you have a choice in this. Yeah, like before it was, when I played before, it was just Lum shows up, takes over. And I really didn't want to talk to any of the Heliopause people after that. But this being a, while at gunpoint, the balance of power here is different. It's a good thing the colony's in such pathetic shape right now, your mom mutters under her breath. If they thought we were a threat, they'd probably just shot us. Your dad squeezes your shoulders and tells her to be quiet. No one knows how to react. A new governor from Earth, nearly 100 new colonists, most of them trained soldiers. What does this mean for the colony? The crowd disperses slowly, and the council members follow Lum back into the Heliopause, presumably to talk about the future of the colony. You hope. You track down your friends. So what do you think about these new people? Mars asks. So I did learn that, Ditzy, as things went on, and I'm probably looking to get more to know a couple of them than I did the first time around. I think I'm gonna go with they're just gonna boss us around. Like that's very much what that energy was. It's not so much I don't want to share, but I don't want to share it with people who show up and immediately say that they're in charge. Tangent nods. They don't live here. They don't know what it's like, and they're just gonna swoop in and act like they're better than us? She hugs her arms around herself. Did you see what they were doing to Instance? The entire colony, now twice as many of you, sets to work on salvaging the wreckage of the Heliopause, tearing it down, combining it with the Stratospheric's remaining engine section. Spirits are high, though these new colonists from the Heliopause aren't like any people you've ever met before. With their uniforms and weapons, they're more like an invading force than a rescue. You aren't sure what this means for the colony, or for your future. Alright, we go into late quiet. We're not mourning anymore. We've still got heroic. As the dust settles, you rebuild your colony around this new ship, the Heliopause. The new arrivals, soldiers mainly, are aloof at first. Many see you as fugitives. Together you build new walls, living quarters, greenhouses, and a massive bunkered garrison. The Stratos engineering wing is the only reminder of your old colony. The Heliopause brought enough rations for another 5 years, as well as a rich seed bank and working hydroponics. They also have more guns and explosives than you've ever seen in your life. Even the ship has guns. This music track is loud, I apologize. Okay, it chilled. Never mind. A full stomach, a roof over your heads, and the promise of safety convinces most Strato colonists to accept the Helios. The Helios. Helios is not the name of the ship. Helios, plural. It's not. This is merely the middle of the game, Kurkuba. In turn, the Helios decide that you, criminals, pose little threat. A grudging peace is brokered between the two groups. I gotta shout over the music. Holy shit, this one track is so loud. You decide they aren't so different, really. There are even Helio children, born among the stars, just like you. After a month of hard work, you and your parents move into your new quarters. You get your own room for the first time in your life. You step out onto your very own balcony and watch the new colony, its grounds bustling with so many strangers and strange new ideas. Oh, so I would have had a minus 100 stress from that anyway. You feel something rising in your chest that you haven't felt in some time. Hope. Excitement. What'll the new day bring? You better get out there and find out. How do we approach that day? In the meantime, I'll say it was so bittersweet in the first playthrough when Mom died because of the famine, and then the Helio shows up with 5 years of food, working geoponics. Yeah, that music is fine when it's on my own, but it's like, oh, I need to be heard over it. So let's rush outside. Let's greet the day. Let's see who's out here. Alright, we've got Cal and Tammy. Cal is building some trellises in the garden. Hey, Sabote, he says, can you pass me that thing? He pushed one of the supporting beams into position and he hammers it together. He hangs from the top beam, kicking his feet before dropping to the ground. There, see? Stable as anything. He dusts off his hands. I'm glad you found me. I was talking to Tammy earlier and she said some things, you know, about you. And it got me thinking. Oh, wow. Look, you and her, you don't like her or anything, right? What is my friendship with Cal? It's not 80, that's for sure. I think we go with just ask her out already, nullhead. Like, just ask her out already, nullhead. Like, yeah, I do think Tammy's attractive. But, you know, I do think she's cool, but like, I don't know. If Cal's got a thing for her, go for it, bud. Cal blinks at you, then laughs. Oh, I guess it's really that obvious, huh? He scuffs his foot in the dirt. We've been friends forever, you know? I guess I was kind of waiting for her to, you know, give me a sign or something that she wanted to be more. You've met Tammy, right? He laughs. Yeah, I guess that was a little silly. She's way too shy to make the first move. Thanks, Sabote, he says. I'll talk to her about it myself. I just needed a pep talk, you know? I think, because I have read some stuff, like, with Reddit and whatever a little bit, I think that if you're high enough friendship with both of them, you can be in a poly relationship with them? I could be wrong. Ditsy, feel free to correct me. But, like, you can also be a dick and try to, like, break them up so that you can be with one or the other. I definitely don't want to do that. Tammy's standing on the stoop of the lounge, twisting her hands anxiously. I know the soldiers from the heliosphere are here to keep us safe, but I can't help but worry. Alright, you still got Tang. Tang is in deep conversation with Chief Engineer Instance, conferring over a holoscreen. Tang says something that makes Instance smile and pat her on the shoulder, who then gestures to close her holopalm and walks away. You approach Tang, who looks unusually flustered. Oh, hello, Sabote, she says. The tip of her ears are pink. Do you have need of my assistance? I wonder what that's about. I want to know what that's about. Reasoning's getting up there, but I'm not really engaging with the gift mechanic too much, and that's something that, like, if I had if I just brought up a guide about that. We're gonna talk to all of the Strato people first, then we'll talk to the Helios. You and Anemone watch a unit of Helio soldiers jog by with Vase in the lead. Did you see that guy? She says when they're out of earshot. He's kind of hot, right? No. Stop it. We do not stand fascists in this stream. Everything dies, Dis says, plucking at some dead grass and blowing it away into the wind. Plants, people, civilization. Even this planet's gonna die in a long enough timeline. He dusts his hands off and rests his chin on his knees. Why even bother fighting it? Or try to do anything at all? Okay, Dis, you have fun with that. We've got Mom. You try to broach the subject of Governor Loom and the Helios and how they seem to know your mom. Why didn't she fight back when they just took over? Leave it, she barks, in her we aren't discussing this voice. That's council business. You're too young to understand. Yeesh. Hello, my little tomato. Your dad's voice rings out across the field, hale and hearty. You don't have it in yourself to be embarrassed. Not during Pollen. Not with the memory of him struggling to breathe so fresh in your mind. That's right, it is Pollen now, and he's totally fine. Oh my god. I think this is when he would... You coming to check on your old man? He teases you. Takes a deep breath. Holds it. And lets it out comfortably. I'm doing great. No congestion, no sneezing. I definitely don't want to take a hike outside the walls. Right! So when he was like, take a hike for fresh air, he was under... That was the compulsion at work trying to kill him. I don't think I made that connection. Ooh, man. Your dad pulls you into a big hug, ruffling your hair. He smells like sunshine and dirt and sweat. And you've never been happier to breathe it all in. He's alive. I'm proud of you, he says quietly. You can pull off miracles, kiddo. +1 to and from other yellow cards. That's cool. Okay, let's talk to new people. Let's start with Vase and get that out of the way. This new boy from the Heliosphere is a couple years older than you. He's very handsome, if you say so, and the missing arm gives him a heroic, battle-scarred vibe. He stands tall and ready for action, even though it's a normal, boring day. The other recruits milling about the garrison give him a wide, respectful berth. He sees you staring and gives you a curt nod. My name is Vase, Lieutenant Olivacious, he says, considering you with a glint of challenge in his eye. And you are? How do you introduce yourself? I think Science or Explorer are the ones that are most solid. We've done Exploration a few times. I think I'm going to say Science, because that's where our biggest contributions have come from. Even when it's been something from Exploring, it's been the science of solving the shimmer. So, I'm into Science. His expression doesn't change. Is that right? He says, with the air of a boy who's hard to impress. Nice to meet you, Sabote. Oh, hold on. I want to be a little snottier with him. I hear it's been a rough couple years for the colony. Lucky thing our heliopause came along just in time, he continues. Don't worry. We have some of the best soldiers. The very best. We'll keep the colony safe. We were fine before you came with your soldiers. He raises an eyebrow. When we landed, this place looked like it had just been overrun by wild animals. Or was that just the aesthetic you were going for? Being planetide's totally different. You tell Vase that firing a virtual gun is nothing compared to running for your life through the jungle when a wild Unisaur hunts you down. A Unisaur? Vase says, leaning forward a little. His eyebrows raised. Did you actually say something to interest him? That sounds like a fun sport. Like, try it sometime. Fuck you! God. The worst. The absolute worst. The colony's full of new people. Everywhere you look, you see a stranger. It's disorienting after growing up on a closed spaceship. You never expected to meet any other humans that weren't made here on Vertumna. You bump straight into one of the new people while you're jogging through the colony. Oof! He laughs and holds you steady, brushing the imaginary dust off you and giving you a wide-fanged smile. It's one of the kids from the Heliopause. You think his name's Rex. Alright, this guy's chill. Let's see, how do we do this? Maybe, I think deciding between 1 and 3. Him we're going to be welcoming of. Like, he's not a soldier. He's not, like he was born on the way. He didn't depart with, oh, we're going to bring him to justice, whatever. He might have been brought up that way, but he seems pretty welcoming to us. Griff Kuba saying we just go with the welcome. I'm Sabote, welcome to Vertumna. You stick out your hand and shake his and he laughs. You notice he's wiggling his dog ears. They can really move independently. Pleased to meet you, he says. I'm Rex. I love to shake a paw. I know a ton of tricks. He winks. Rex puts his hand against his cheek, looking cute and lost. Hey, since I'm new here, do you think you could help me find the construction yard? I think I might apply for a job there. I think it's too early to flirt with one of the newcomers. Just, like, role-playing wise, I'm not angling, like, if I'm doing a playthrough where, like, yeah, I'm gonna romance Rex, then yes, we do that and we engage with the mechanics of the game, but with the role-playing of the game, I'll take you there. You walk him over to command. Everything's moved around since the heliopause landed, but the construction yard is still in command where it always was. At the entrance you meet Mars, filing her nails and looking like she's waiting for somebody. Why, hello, cutie, she says to Rex. Where did you come from? He looks her up and down and grins. Just an angel who fell from the sky, darling. You try not to gag as the two of them flirt. Blech. You give a loud ahem and point Rex towards the construction yard. He looks back at Mars over his shoulder and winks as he leaves. Well, that thing I said about it being too early to flirt, these two didn't get the memo. You've seen Nomi around since the heliopause landed. They're around your age and barely 1.5 meters tall, only coming up to your shoulder. You've never seen anyone dress as strangely as they do. Hi! Their voice is high-pitched and quick. I'm Nomi! It's short for nomination. They do a little twirl and bow. It's straight up stated, Griff Kuba, it's straight up stated that they were flirting with each other. How's that for not knowing what's flirting when it's written on the page? You introduce, and I like Nomi. I feel like asking about gender is rude. They're non-binary, they, them. Maybe not rude. They seem like they'd be open to it. To the question, but I'll ask what they do for fun. Well, Nomi begins. Kind of a bit of everything? I like designing outfits and reading manga and learning about dinosaurs and cool xenofauna and robots and aliens and watching anime and playing Laser Fable, of course. Mostly lately I play Laser Fable. It's so fun to play it outside in the great big endless outdoors. Nomi dances in a circle, waving their arms and gesturing at your surroundings. I'll challenge them to a game of Laser Fable. You're on. Nomi helps you install it on your holopalm and explains the rules. Laser Fable is an augmented reality game where you bounce hologram lasers off real objects nearby. It's speed-based, so you're running around and bumping into each other, and there are extended house rules about when it's legal to block each other's lasers. Oh, yeah. Okay, so challenge. We get a +2 on that. +1 to red cards. We'll just max that up. Actually, boop, boop. Card to the right becomes a 3. All cards to the right become blue. We don't want to do that. There's a 3. Another 3. And let's just do that. Still need 25. Plus 2 of this on the first or last plane. That's a different way to get it a +2. Alright, that's 4s across the board. Can we... Yeah, we'll just take that. Right on, brother! Nomi gives you a high five with a couple quick flicks of their gauntlet. Gives you... And with a... Then with a couple quick flicks of on their gauntlet, gives you a kudos for winning. They explain how this is how they always play Laser Fable with the kids from Heliosphere. Except they mostly don't want to play anymore. They say they're too old for it. They just want to be soldiers now. Except Rex. He's still cool. Alright, so we've got... I think Nomi and Rex are cool, and Vase is not. And I think that that's kind of a standard interpretation. But Anemone's over here, I and Vase, and we'll do it. Okay, so we are stress-free. We've got so much available to us. Let's take a look at our options. We can, so this is engineering. We can do different studying. We can tutor children. I'm gonna just pop in everywhere, make sure that there's nothing popping in for us. We could apply to work for the kitchen. We can practice the photophoner, relax in the lounge. This is the depot up here. We can do deliver supplies. This is geoponics. Shovel dirt, work on the farm. We can do more research with xenobotany. Let's see if we're able to explore a new area yet. Hold on, leave. At the moment, no. Although, Ditzy, I'm not sure when the next area would open up and if I need to do something for it. My first game, I didn't do the swamps at all because I was offered, oh, join Vase for hunting. And I'm like, I don't friggin' do that. But I think we do exploration. We can run into sim a bit. I don't think I have a particular goal I want to do in xenobotany right now. That's the thing. I like the idea of prioritizing xenobotany, but what do people think we do? What do we prioritize? Maybe we head out. Actually, let me check unlock conditions for exploration on that. Unless you guys say something otherwise, but while I'm waiting for you, I will check. View the map. The resting ridge unlock conditions. Not wrestling. Resting. Say xenobotany. Oh god, I keep smacking the mic. Apologies. Sounds good. If you're grabbing food, I'm gonna do an exploration. We're gonna, let's see, which one do we want to do? Perception, biology. Perception's getting good. Biology's good. Survey the plains is perception and animals. It's bravery and perception. And let's do the one that gives plus to animals. Let's go out to the plains again. Let's see if we find sim out here. Oh, and we do have Chief Surveyor Utopia stops you in dis near the depot. Feel that? She asked. You can kind of feel an ominous distant thumping, pulsing regularly through the ground. If you stand still, you can feel it vibrate up into your own body too, like a massive global pulse. Utopia says, checking the readout on her holopalm. I reckon it's naturally occurring, she concludes, but it's giving me the willies all the same. You two better check it out. Mind you stick together and take readings on the way in case it's dangerous. You and Dis look at each other, excited. You follow the thumping, now an audible noise growing louder, west until you've roughly triangulated its location. You know you're getting close, but it sounds like it's coming from all around you, and your instruments aren't precise enough to help. Alright, we have our perception up high enough, so we can do a perception challenge. That's locked in place. It's red. +1 for gems on neighboring cards. No. Hell yeah. 3, 4, 5. Good. +2 to physical card to the right. So let's just get that high. Sure. We still need 40. Oh, I did not play that smart. 3 in the middle is killing me right now. There we go, though. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get that super goal. +2 perception. You find a machine? An ancient, broken down machine. Like a small pyramid-shaped building made from some kind of dark stone or bone. That looks almost like it grew that way. Except it isn't broken. It's just so very old and overgrown. It looks... Excuse me. More like a pile of rubble and roots than a building or engine or whatever it was. Still, a thumping noise comes from inside it. The vibrations are strong here, making your guts feel weird. You didn't notice it at first, but there's a curious path on the ground moving away from the machine. A line half a meter wide where the dirt is a little more worn and bare. It heads off in a straight line to the west. Or coming from the west. Could animals have made this path? Or the thumper itself? It's definitely not natural. On some parts of the thumper you can see what might have been writing once, carved into the not-quite rock. Must be thousands of years old. Whatever part of it still works is deep down in its core. It has a funny smell, too. Sweet like something fermented. Puffs of air come from vents near the top, in time to the thumping. You also note that animals here are a lot more aggressive than usual. Even the insects buzz more annoyingly overhead. Your scanners register higher levels of attack pheromones. Whatever's going on, the fauna don't like it either. Eventually, you head back to share your findings with Utopia. Totally an alien civilization, Dis insists. Utopia scratches her head. I suppose, maybe, she says. Said it looked ancient, right? Perhaps there could have been another civ here long ago. We have found other signs, but nothing active like this. Seems to be pointing west or receiving something. There's some ugly ridge lines out there that kept us from checking that direction, but we got gliders and motivation. That's half the battle. She makes a note in her holopalm. I'll open up the western resting ridges for surveyors, she says, then grins. Huh, say that 3 times fast. We'll stick together out there. Alright, cool. Oh, Nomi Nomi's on exploration. When you report for surveying duty, Nomi Nomi's here. It's their first day as a surveyor. They smile widely when they see you, smiling exuberantly. Oh, you two know each other already, Utopia says, looking to you then Nomi. Well, that'll make this easier. Sabote, I'd like you to keep an eye on Nomi while you're out there. I'm going to assign you the same regions for the next little while. Just make sure they don't wander into a nest of snap bladders, okay? Yeah. Nomi cheers and gives you a high five. How does our friendship with them start? Rex 0, Vase 0, Nomi started at 0 but now 4. Okay. As Utopia explains to Nomi and some other new Helios surveyors about the surveying tools, Nomi starts to get bored and wanders a little away from the group. You see it happening, but are powerless to stop them from tripping and nearly landing in a nest of hot-eye eggs. You're just about to crash into the delicate spun glass cocoon when Utopia materializes as if out of nowhere and scruffs them by the back of the collar. Nomi, pay attention! Ooh, sweat drop. Nomi giggles like they don't even realize the danger of being stampeded by the upset hop-eyes beginning to gather around. Utopia ushers them back to the group before things can get tramply. Nomi asks a million questions about the eggs. Are they edible? Do they have hard shells or soft? What's the cocoon made out of? How long do they hatch? Utopia sighs. Just get out of here, you two, before the cute little varmints turn ugly. Alright. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna try to prioritize the yellow events, and then we do the ridges. You stop to watch a herd of shaggy, purple-furred animals slowly meander down a slope. You've never seen them before. Well, let's study those real quick. This will be a nice quick one. Card becomes a 2. Well, cool. Love that. Eh. -3 to cards with higher values. Well, there's none of those, so... If I do that, okay. +4 if that's the only blue card, but it's not because of that, so... +2 to cards with gems. No, hold on. Oh, but that's still stuck on becoming... Okay, hold on. That's the only blue card. 2 and +2 to cards with gems. Nope, that's worse. Okay. We'll do that. No, but that... Okay, I'm not going to get that bonus for it being the only blue card. Just stop worrying about that. There's one for each unplayed card. Do that. Do that. Spent way too long on that. Cool, -5 stress, but we were already at 0. The creature's fur is like grass, so they must be photosynths, an animal that gets part of their energy from the sun. But they couldn't be arborescent photosynths, bush bubs, because they got branches growing out of their heads and backs. You check your survey journal. It says bush bubs are common here, but they're smaller solitary creatures, so nope. Well, they're too small to be balneal photosynths, who don't usually leave the water. We found a new species. Maybe, that'd be cool. You decide to name them just in case. You look at them through your holoculars at maximum zoom. You can kind of make out that they have super long jaws, like a huge underbite. You name the species. Let's go with herding sunbiter. Naming the thing's hard, so hurting Sunbiter will have to do. You log your discovery. Ooh, extra gear slot from animals. Okay, cool. Let's do that right now. +1 to yellow cards, +10 combat, +2 to physical challenges. +5 animals, +1 to... I do like +1 to flushes. We've already got +1 to straights, so yeah. There's not much to find out here, but the peaceful atmosphere is great for contemplation. You find a particularly beautiful little plateau where you can see plains spread out before you like a picnic blanket, round lakes dotting the land like glimmering mirrors of sky. Dis is scouting further ahead. He was eager to find some adventure. I'll meditate. Oh my god, I didn't need that, but okay. You focus on the sounds around you, on your breathing, on the feeling of your butt on the rock and the slightly cool breeze in your face. It's very peaceful. You can feel yourself relax as you become one with the planet. The ground here is oddly familiar, some kind of smooth rock covered in lichens, tiny plants. Is it alive? Like the big rock creature you found before? Carefully move over it. Bam, that's fine. Boom, couple of 6s back to back, enjoy that. And a couple of 4s too, why not? Boom. Now we're all going super goal here. And we're already at the super goal. That's incredible. Just boom, 5, 6. Y'all got 7? I don't care. +2 to a physical card to the right. Boom, boom, done. After cautiously walking around it for a few minutes and observing quietly, you realize the ground's alive. It's rumbling slightly. Yeah. We have seen this before. Alright, we're gonna ignore that one up there. Is Sim over here? It's a cloudy day. You hear the crash of thunder from somewhere nearby. Loud. Sounds like it's getting closer. Alright, this is the big tall thing. One big something. Which I think we've got already. Memories. We do not. So yeah, let's do that. Stay calm and analyze its movement. You watch the clouds as the next leg breaks through and you dodge it. It slams down where you'd been with enough force to crush a boulder to dust. The creature is so unbelievably massive, you're like an ant to it. As it passes overhead, you marvel at how such a thing could even exist, and hope it never wanders too close to your colony. And there's Sim. This is true. It's a wild card with a good high value. For once, you see Sim before he sees you. He's crouched just off the path, staring at a flower, his face blank. He doesn't react as you approach, so you watch him for a while. He's so perfectly motionless, you'd think he was a plant too. His eyes are unfocused. Is he accessing some kind of mental interface? Eventually, you clear your throat. Sim carefully stands up and turns to face you. For a moment, you're not sure if he recognizes you. Then he tosses his head and a grin leaps to his face. Sabote, you caught me checking in with the boss. You have a boss? My boss, as I told you, they aren't fond of change. They're also very much like your boss. What's she named? Utopia? Her name word is fitting, isn't it? I appreciate that she always reminds you not to get yourself killed. I wish you'd listen to her. She gave me a job to do. And I have my job, which is to protect this place. Protecting you seems to be my hobby. If the Binds finds out I'm talking to you, I'd be in trouble, so... Shh. Then why keep talking to me? He smiles warmly. 'Cause you're the boy of my dreams, literally? I can't seem to stay away from you. And because... you humans are different. I'm so bored of everyone else on this planet. The other gardeners, my boss, they have everything on Vertumna just the way they like it, and don't want the teeniest thing to change. It's boring. See that tree? He points to a large tree with many long limbs dripping from it and embedded in the ground. That tree was a small creature for part of its life cycle. You call it the Vricky. Once it plants its roots, that's where it stays for the rest of its life. The gardeners spend time as trees too, sometimes hundreds of years. You do that enough, you start to think like a tree. Set in your ways. Oh, I haven't been voice acting him correctly. He's breathier like this, and emphasizes wrong syllables in cadence at times. The gardeners spend time as trees too, sometimes hundreds of years. If you do that enough, you start to think like a tree, set in your ways. He spreads his hands, an earnest expression on his face. When I watch you, when I talk to you and learn about your species, I feel inspired. I feel young again. Wait, how old are you? I like to think I'm young at heart, Sims replies with a mischievous smile. You have so many more questions for this man, or gardener, or whatever he is. But as soon as you open your mouth to ask another, Sim cocks his head as if listening and holds up a hand. I'm sorry, he says, looking for all the world like he's listening to the dang flower, but I must away. With that, he's gone, off to protect the wild or rescue damsels or whatever. Maybe he's just avoiding your questions. Nomi! With yellow! You hear Nomi shouting for help nearby. Run over there. You sprint to the sounds of distress. Nomi's stuck in a lyre flower. You know the beast well. It pretends to be a giant pretty flower, then swallows you whole and slowly digests you. Oldest trick in the book. You could use your plas cutter to cut them out of there, but if you can figure out what part of this creature to cut without hurting Nomi. Nomi's struggling and you hear muffled sounds of distress from inside. You have to try. Holy shit. 8, 9, 10. Boom, that's half of our goal right there. Let's 3, 4 +1 and red. Oh, shoot. I forgot about getting +1 from that, too. That's fine. It literally super goal. Boom. Oh, cool. Make sure we drop in the -5 stress. Absolutely. Got some fantastic physical cards. Yeah, I'm happy with my deck. It feels like it took a little bit of time to get up to speed, but you delicately slice the lyre flower at the underside of the base of its flower, which you guess is the creature's neck. Up close, it actually looks more reptilian than plant-like. Just a little nick, and the creature coughs and convulses. Nomi spills forth in a flood of digestive juices. Ew, 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 yuck my outfit, stupid flower! Nomi stomps and shakes their fists at the flower, which lurches away on a fat snake-like body. Cool. Alright, that gets us a yellow. We've got some minus distress there. I don't think there's any yellow down here, but let's grab the medicinal roots. I think there's always 2 yellow events per area. It's just getting through the bush bub. Just gonna -2 to neighboring yellow cards, +1 to ba-ba-da. I would literally just throw numbers at it. Yeah, it's a really pleasing progression. Like like the feeling like you're learning, it feels very natural, because especially on replay you realize that, wow, you're not that great at 10 years old, and you really do improve over the 10 years that the game takes place. Please, now I could really use that relaxing bit. Look for a place to cross. Value is wild, but I want you to be a full... Okay, no, so that is a straight, and also a 2 of a kind, and also another 2 of a kind. Hell yeah. 5, 4... 2, 3, 4, 5. Wild card is amazing. Yeah, I had to like look at it and be like, wait a minute, is that doing everything that I think it is? Oh my god, make sure we get that -5 stress played. I like almost forgot it. I'd love to get that perception all the way up so I can just prioritize and run exactly where I want to for story items. There's an arrow place with 2 pools. Okay, yeah. Oh? Hold on, we have excitement. We have something pending. Mind if I show you an item? Sure. Drifts of spark snow might make this area hard to pass through. Okay. We can play in the snow. I think a red 3 card isn't worth us grabbing. Yeah, we've got... That's towards the bottom of our deck, and we've got better ones. So let's just shovel it out of the way. Oh, but that takes more stress. Dang it. You actually don't have a shovel with you, but you find a bush. Okay. So we can do one more event. I don't think we can reach a yellow. We'll relax next month. Water in the slightly greener color than you're used to. Oh, no. It's another lake of pee. You could drink some if you wanted to test your stomach, but it'd be a bad idea. I'm going to straight up ask, Ditzy, is there any benefit to drinking the pee water? Man, these are sentences that shouldn't be spoken aloud. Go to the depot as soon as you're free. I think there's an amazing item available in there. Oh, good call. Ignore. And you're too worn out and tired. Alright, we are in mid-pollen. Actually, we got to keep in mind there's still going to be the Vertumna Festival, so I make sure to pile up on stress before that, too. Supply Depot. This is what I've got right now. I think that next year the depot refreshes. Okay, so if you have creativity high, then you get to do cool stuff with Nomi. Okay. Hey, so I heard you guys have a feast next season, Nomi says, tilting their head to the side. And there's competitions? What kind of competitions? Because, like, everyone on the Helios learns how to do soldiery stuff, but other than that, I'm not really good at anything. Well, except for video games. Nomi smiles proudly. Okay, but I'm really good at video games, they say. Oh, and drawing. I guess I put all my skill points into dexterity. Wait, do you get the joke? Do you guys have role-playing games here? Do you think we could have an art contest at your festival? Tammy's sitting on a couch in the lounge, reading a book to a small group of older children. They squall and fidget as she finishes the book, then disperse like puffballs on the wind. She sighs and closes the book, looking up at you with a gentle smile. I'm trying, but ever since the creche was destroyed, there's really no keeping this group together. I suppose they were getting too old for the creche. Oh, but it is nice to imagine everything is still how it was before. I haven't seen a real baby in years. Okay, that would need empathy to be higher. You pass a group of soldiers from the heliopause leaving from the garden. One of them eyes you with disdain, but the rest ignore you. Inside, Cal is scowling as he rakes up a planting bed. His expression softens when he sees you, but not by much. Hey, Sabote. You see those jerks? They're always sniffing around here trying to start a fight with me. I think their leader's that mouthy kid, Vase. Whatever, joke's on them. I ain't gonna play their little soldier games. Tang looks as if she hasn't shed a tear since the day she was born. The engineering wing escaped the attack relatively unscathed, she says. We still have power and shelter, but more importantly, we have our knowledge. If anything can get us out of this dire situation, it'll be technology. Check for people, check for stuff. I'm not gonna talk to Vase. Fiddles with personal defense, Plas Cutter. She's ready to enlist. Anyone out here? No. Dis. We deserved it. What do you think about the new kids? Mars asks. Most of them are very, soldiery, and I suppose that's okay if you like that kind of thing. Rex is a total hottie, though, and from what I hear, he's... Well, I just think I got a chance with him. Wow. Rex hasn't gotten used to life on the surface yet. You remember your first year. Vertumna seemed so enormous, so full of dangers and mysteries. Well, it still does. Sorry. But the shock eventually wore off. Rex still has that slightly bewildered look on his face every time he walks outside and the sunlight hits his face. It's so bright and warm. Bop bop. Gunk. There's a tiny little band hammer. Just a little... Oh my god. I now want a squeaky mallet. Just a... that I can do every time that I gotta band hammer someone. Let's help help Rex build something. Actually, I'm working on something right now, Rex says, producing a holo projector. Looks so familiar. Wait, it's the holo projector you used to watch vids on in the crash. It's been broken ever since the crash was destroyed. Nice, a blue wild card. I was hoping you could help me fix this up. Might want to have outdoor movie nights. Friendship with Rex and plus to engineering. Good, good. You help him bring the holo projector back to life. Then help him make an outdoor theater for it, complete with overhead lights and comfortable places to pile up your bedding. And Dan provides the snacks. Rex looks at it with pride. We just gotta figure out what to play for our opening night. Hugs incoming! Rex throws his arms wide. Coach, I'm open! He laughs, catching you as you throw yourself in his arms. He spins you around and growls into your neck, squeezing you tightly. It's a good hug, the kind that makes you instantly just a little more relaxed. Nice. Did I talk to Nomi yet? Oh, okay, that's the feast thing. Cool, cool, cool. I'd advise giving him logs. Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't really been doing much with the, what do I even have for collectibles? I have a decent amount of logs. Flowers, too. I think Tang likes flowers, right? That's help with the animals. Whoop. Council business. Okay. But yeah, let's here. Got you a present. Oh my god. Here, boy, have a stick. Shoots you a shy smile. Nothing a dog likes more than a stick, right? Yeah, that's it. That's exactly the gag. Okay, relax. Let's do that in... Right, we did talk to Nem. Who, notably, we haven't gone with the Nem nickname in this playthrough. She's just Anemone to us. Let's relax in the park. Sabote! Your mom's voice rings through the garden before you even see her. You and Squidly Botason pause in your tracks. Then your Vricky slithers away and hides under a bush. Your mom thunders down the path. Where is that little pink bastard? She hollers, waving around a gardening trowel. They ain't my begonias! Your mom's been nurturing a couple pots of begonias, beautiful flowering bushes with delicate blooms. Like most plants from Earth, they're exceedingly precious. Once the seed bank is used up, the only way to make more is to successfully propagate them here in Vertumna. They're innocent! You hear a hacking noise from the underbrush. Squidly Botason creeps out from under the brush and, as if on cue, horks up a wet mass of pink and yellow petals. Your pet is a menace. At least spiders back home ate other pests. This one is a pest. She puts her hands on her hips. You should just release the damn thing. Who knows what it's going to grow up to be? Everything here just keeps growing. Nothing on this planet knows when to stop. Like my begonias. Perfectly contained in their little pot. They knew when to stop. I'll train them better, Mom. She points at her eyes, then points to Squidly Botason. I'm watching you, she mutters. You haven't given up training Squidly Botason to follow simple commands. They clearly have the ability to understand what you're trying to communicate with them. There's just a huge language barrier. Cal gives you the idea to try clicker training, getting them to associate verbal commands with actions and rewards, using a clicking noise as positive reinforcement. May as well give it a shot. The noise itself isn't positive reinforcement. What you do is that you positively reinforce with the clicker, so that, and eventually you do not need to offer the treat, the positive reinforcement. The clicker just automatically triggers the, yay, I'm happy I did a thing right. When we were training our dogs, we didn't want to, we knew keeping a clicker on us all the time for anything with the dogs would be like a bit of a pain, so we use a word. B-I-N-G-O, except we say the actual word. And it's been a long time since we trained, and it's probably not going to set them off like it used to, but I still at least use it when I ask them to sit before going outside, whatever. We don't do a lot of tricks with our dogs, but Well, you may as well give it a shot. Animals challenge. Let's see if we can level up Squidly here. Card to the right becomes a 3 and then gets a +2, right? Oh, it just becomes a 3. Anyway, plus the last card. Just pile that on. Oh, a lot of blue here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Seems like a bit of a waste for a wild. Let's do that with that 4 so that we can keep that for something else. 10, 9. No, 10s. That's a 10, right? 3 of a kind? Yeah, okay, so it is 0, but it gives the value for 3 of a kind. Okay. 10, 10, 10. +1 for each gem on other cards. And here, have another +1. Is that how we want to do that? No, +1 to physical challenges. Super goal. Yeah, the points, it added 0 to points, but it acted as, anyway, as the result of a triple 10. Cool, Vricky 2. Success. Use the clicking as a shared language, and Squidly Botason quickly begins to respond to your commands. By the end of the afternoon, you're getting pretty reliable results from both stay and follow. This is great. Vricky must be more intelligent than people give them credit for. Maybe Vricky will be the species that evolves to be codependent with humans, like dogs evolve from wolves. Okay, animals is getting up there. Do you want to forget? Yeah, it's a 1, and a +1 to a yellow card to the right isn't huge, so if it was any card to the right, it'd be maybe better, but okay, late pollen. I think we go to the ridges because I don't know that we got a full amount of stress ahead of us. Well, no, let's... So, in 2 more months, we're going to have Vertumna Festival. So, let's do the plains some more. Which is where we were, yes. And get our stress to maybe around 80, so that then we do maybe a xenobotany or something the next month, and then the festival can pull it back down. So, the boss event is remaining. So let's go out and do the boss event for that. Then we'll do like a xenobotany, just for, you know, working on our, you know, maxing out what we can with our stress budget, really. And then after that, after the festival, then we'll do the ridges. Hi. Did you bring what I asked? Oh yeah, right. Well, ooh. Ooh. Sim is standing in the shadows, wrapped up in his clothes like he's trying to blend into the jungle. He looks like a vid actor pretending to be shifty. Yeah, I did. But let's take an even closer look at Sim. This time you'll catch Sim doing something weird and alien. You send a survey drone to follow him and watch through your holopalm as he heads into the forest. He comes to a still pond and crouches by it, staring intently in the water. Then with a flick of his wrist, he snatches an eel from the depths and bites its head clean off. Then he looks up at the drone and gives you a jaunty wave as if he knew it was there all along. Wait, does Sim usually eat raw living animals, or was he just doing it because he knew you were trying to catch him doing something weird? Anyway, I've got the data you asked for. I knew it! I dreamed about it last night in my vat. In your... what now? Never mind. Let me have the data drive. Okay, he doesn't like this quid pro quo of answer a question. I think that friendship went down last time I did that, so here, it's yours. You hand over the data drive and Sim takes it reverently, staring as if he could see what's inside. Voice. Marvelous, he says. Like a genetic payload, except with digital data instead of organic. I don't know what vowel I use for data. What will I learn from this trove, I wonder? You're still puzzling over the implications of the phrase genetic payload as he continues. The other gardeners are so tedious and obsessed with their work, he complains. They're more concerned with maintaining equilibrium than experiencing new things. They don't understand that novelty is what makes life interesting. He slips the data drive into his sleeve. Thank you, Sabote. I will treasure this. Okay. And right, I'd forgotten that we can use him to de-stress a bit as well. I say use, that doesn't feel right, but you know. Ask him. And yeah, we're getting close to that max perception, which will really be great for exploration of just beeline to the boss events. To the yellow events. Find our way through the snow. Physical challenge, +2 to the card to the right. That's 2. I really... Just bam, bam. Card becomes a 2? Okay, well... Boom, you're a 2 now. 1, 2... Oh, shit. The +1 for gems. Just have a regular 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Poof. 7... 6... 5... Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, perception's at 86. Keep putting one foot in front of the other, relying on wayfaring, and a bit of luck to make your way through, but you see something inexplicable. What the heck is that? You squinted in the driving snow, but all you see is white on white, the slightest hint of movement. It doesn't even look corporeal, almost like a cloud, like the snow's coming from it. It's impossible to get a closer look. You pull your collar tighter against the storm and move on. Grab a mushwood. Bushbub! You hear Dis shouting from nearby to come quick and look at this. You meet up with Dis on a curiously clean part of the path. There's no twigs, pebbles, bits of grass, or the ubiquitous Dorbsmith scales that litter this area. Almost looks like it's been swept clean. And there, in the middle of a perfect circle 3 meters wide, is what you could only describe as a shrine. A hollow, waist-high structure made from twigs and packed spark snow forms the centerpiece, and around it are deliberately spaced piles of colorful fruit, flowers, and glittering stones, like an offering. Did you make this? No. I know you think I'm weird, but I'm not this weird. Alright, well, let's stake it out and wait. Again, just throw numbers at it. Boom. Yeah, that counts as blue for that. Very cool. Yeah. Throw numbers at it. I love it being on Super Goal with still 1 round to go. Cool. So make sure we grab that -5 stress. +1 to those challenges. And I really do not care. Poof. You hang out for hours but don't discover anything except how boring an idea this was. Dis takes a nap. You're almost falling asleep when something shuffles into the clearing. It's a bushbub. It crawls slowly along down the path. It stops to pick up a pop flower. It stops to pick up a stone. When it arrives at the shrine, it carefully places the flower in the pile of flowers and the stone in a pile of stones. Then it picks up the stone and repositions it, just so. Wonder if the creature is somehow religious? Or is it trying to attract a mate with this little show of decor? There's so much you don't know about the animals that live here. Okay, let's... How are we on stress? We can do a couple more things. Let's just try to sweep the map. We're doing good on managing that. We'll say that -2 stress, calm, killer. Absolutely amazing. I thought that there were more. Did I miss one? No, okay, here we go. There was a crystal on the island. Oh, I'll go back to it. A bushbub. I'll ignore it. I think it like gets upset at me if I pick the fruit, and we're not like in need of colony food right now, so there's no real motivation to grab it like that. Alright, checking back for crystal that I somehow missed. Oh yeah, there it is. All the way down to bottom. Too far. I think there's maybe 2 more events I haven't done yet, so I'll hit both of those really quick. Xenobotany next. I'll just see if there's a breakthrough that we're working on. How's our engineering doing? What did we need our engineering at like 50 to do the radioactive plant? Oh, hi. Meet up with Dis and Nomi. They've stumbled upon something strange and are arguing what to do with it. It's a big blue crystal, knee-high and warm to the touch. Looks like there's something inside. We gotta crack it open and see what's inside, Nomi exclaims. It could be anything. I am aware, but I started the game with using the mouse and it works just fine for me. Are you a psychopath? Dis retorts, clearly offended. What if it's alive? You're gonna screw with the ecological balance because you're bored? It's for science. Nomi pops turning to you. Come on, Sabote will do it, right, Sabote? We'll scan it for a heartbeat first. You use some surveying equipment to detect a heartbeat, proving that, yes, it is alive. You can't tell much else, since the scanner seems to be blocked by the crystal, but it's something. Nomi's absolutely delighted. The 3 of you happily leave it at that. Yeah, I realized afterward that I could use WASDA, but it's like, I'm fine using this to guide around. Alright, last one. Circular pond. Bravery challenge. 4. There we go. That's fine. Actually, hold on. Is that better or worse? No, it is better. Okay, cool. 6, 5. And poof. Oh, give me them yellows. +2 to the red card to the right. There's some wilds in there. And +1 for gems on other cards. Look at that. +2 to bravery. Pond, and we found a crystal cluster. Good. I think we're good to head back now. Return to the colony. You're back. You spent the month exploring. Perception getting so close. We're definitely only doing the 1 year though on this stream. It's 11:30, and we're like barely halfway through the year. Although the second half I think will go faster. It was an eventful beginning to the year. Alright. What's Dad got for us? Just the person I was hoping to see. Your dad jogs over with a sunny smile. Hey, you want to get your hands dirty? Well, more dirty? Survey teams are bringing in a ton of animals we're working on domesticating. We could use your help. You already know your way around a shovel, so I figured you wouldn't mind stopping by sometimes and giving your old man a hand, he says, pointing towards the animal paddocks. Cal's helping out too, so you'll have a friend to work with. If you happen to be out with the survey teams, keep an eye out for more animals to bring home. Sure. Unlock tending animals in geoponics. Very nice. Because, yeah, like, I know that we can domesticate float cows. There's Vase. There's Nem. Actually, my animals is high enough. I think I can do that, difficulty 80, help Dad with the animals. And then I do think we are going to do Xenobotany, just to see if there's something to do there. Testing on animals, 5, and the card to the right becomes a 5. Your dad is running some kind of test on the Trippets. He's playing different chords and trying to see if they have language, or just making instinctive animal calls. You help them by holding up random objects and trying to determine if their sounds map to any understanding of what they're seeing. Oh, they're either saying kill all humans or Linguini sports ball, your dad says, staring at the readout on his holopalm. Can't be sure. Linguini sports ball. Okay. What does this help with? Animals. Oh, that does help empathy. Gets animals up there. Friendship with Cal. Biology is already maxed. Organizing. Ooh, organizing's pretty close to... No, it's not. I think it needs 33 in order to get there. But yeah, let's just pop into xenobotany, because that's kind of been where we've been useful. We'll see if we get something here. You're pulling weeds in the garden when you hear raised voices coming from the barn. Socks' barn. Oh, this event. I think so? I think? Oh no. Cal is standing in front of the doors, blocking Vase from entering. What do you mean I can't go in there? Vase spits. What, this colony has top secret clearance now? You just can't, okay? Cal sputters. Vase tries to get around him, but Cal wedges himself between Vase and the door again. Why do you even need to, anyway? Vase shoves Cal hard. I'm on patrol, nullhead. I don't give a shit what's in the barn, but all of a sudden I care a lot about why you don't want me in there. Cal shoots you a look of pure fear. Socks must be out of her box. What do you do? Well, we're gonna let her out. Right, okay, no, when it comes down to it is in another year or two, where we still have time. You sneak around to the other side of the barn and unlatch the window. Socks raises her head at the strange sound, and you beckon her to make a break for it. She shoots past you. Oh, she's huge! And you're buffeted as she pulls her long body out through the window and clatters up the side of the barn to the roof. You panic. Someone's gonna see her. No, Socks! Come down and hide! You whisper and gesture to the shelter of the barn wall. She tilts her head at you and crawls back down the wall, sticking easily to it with her feet. There must be 10 pairs of them now, at least. She curls up beside you, her great big dinosaur head in your lap. Through the window, you hear the sound of Vase searching the barn. You hold your finger to your lips in a shushing motion at Socks. You hope she understands. After a few tense moments, you hear the barn door close and the sound of Vase's boots crunching down the garden path. Socks slithers her great body through the window again. You go around front to meet Cal. Cal closes the barn door and heaves a sigh of relief. That was close, he mutters, wiping his forehead. Did you know you can still stress sweat even if you're always the right temperature? He leans his back against the door. It's getting harder to keep Socks a secret, he admits. There's so many people here now and she looks like that. She curls up and rests her great big head on Cal's lap, looking up at him with an adoring expression. He rubs her nose and scratches behind her frill. When you saw the wild dilly pillar eating those rocks, what it looked like. You tell Cal what you remember of the great beast, that even from a distance you could tell it was at least as long as the whole colony wall, that it ate boulders like soy sweets. Back when Socks was a baby caterpillar, you almost didn't recognize them as the same species, but looking at her now, you know she's got the blood of dragons in her. Cal bites his lip. I was afraid you'd say that, he says softly. What are we gonna do? Okay, we get blue. All cards to the right become blue. Cool. Hold on, if we do that... Nope, it just works with our +1 to blue cards. I mean, it's still fine. +1 for gems on other cards. +2 to cards with gems. So what happens? What are these numbers we've got? 2, 3, 4. Oh, and it's not a challenge, so just boom, all at once. Stuff in biology. That's not needed. The Vertumnalia Festival is a welcome day of normalcy in an otherwise chaotic year. Despite some lingering rivalry... Wait, what's my reasoning at? Hopefully I can participate in the science fair. Despite some lingering rivalry between the two factions, Vertumnalia is a chance for the Helios and Stratos to come together and appreciate the bounty of the planet. At least, that's what the adults say. As Governor Lum takes the stage to address the colony, you can't help but notice the crowd has segregated itself according to their ship of origin. Rex shoots you away from over on the Strato side, and Nomi makes a silly face. Vase is surrounded by other young soldiers, all looking sharp in their Heliopause uniforms. With Cal standing beside you, you wonder if the two ships will ever feel like one colony. A fanfare plays over the square's announcement system. Lum's honor guards do a complex drill with their drone rifles. Greetings, people of Vertumna, Lum says, his voice ringing out over the square. What the hell is... I have a light back here that looks like a Matrix VHS, and it's touch sensitive to turn on, but also to turn off, and it just keeps doing things on its own, and I'm wondering if it's transmitting through something. What is going on? You're a cool decoration. Behave. Greetings, people of Vertumna, Lum says, his voice ringing out over the square. We may be far from our beautiful Earth, but we can still celebrate and be thankful for what we have here. We've worked hard to save this beleaguered little colony from the brink of destruction, and should be proud of our work. The Helios cheer. Your side of the square is more quiet. I know some of you have been asking, Lum, how are you going to do it all by yourself? How are you going to run the colony, solve everyone's problems, turn this planet into a paradise, and look this good? Lum strikes a pose to a smattering of polite applause. Well, I have an answer for you, he continues. The old council made a lot of bad choices, like illegally leaving Earth, but I do believe in second chances. So I've appointed the original department heads to my own council, Lum's Council 2.0. Better not disappoint me, he laughs and makes finger guns at the department heads in front of his podium. Stay on your toes, Stratos! I hate this guy so much. Hi, I am keeping all the same council heads, but I'm renaming it my council. Haha! I also want to promise everyone here today that we're going to make Vertumna safe for humans. The next time those bastard Xenos attack, we're going to blow them to so many little pieces there won't be enough left to wipe off our boots. We've already got the defenses, he says, gesturing broadly to the new, taller, thicker walls. And we're building homes for everyone. Homes where people can raise children again, knowing that our military men and women are keeping us safe. Big cheers from both sides this time. Some of the colonists around you even have tears in their eyes, especially those who lost family in the last attack. Lum goes on for a while, lionizing the Heliopause's military strength and casting subtle digs at your failed colony experiment. Finally, the crowd disperses to set up the square for the afternoon activities, some traditional and some new. At the tables, Aunt Anne and the kids are setting out the spread for dinner. There's an unimaginable amount of food, thanks to the Heliopause's huge ration surplus, and piles upon piles of xenomeat from the hunting parties for those who could stomach it. Anne is all smiles, clearly making an effort to move on as Lum mandated, despite still mourning her lost son Calm. But not even the festive atmosphere can force a smile onto Anemone's face. I'm gonna go sympathetic. Who do these Helio jerks think they are? Right? Mars exclaims. That Lum guy's a tool. Did you hear what he said about us? How crass. Like, have some respect. Dis arrives carrying a big tureen of stew. And now they're just taking over and everyone's okay with this? Adults are bigger cowards than I thought. Mars looks at Dis in shock that they agree on something for once. The chime sounds to announce... Oh my... No! No! What did... Oh. What? So there is no science fair. The chime sounds to announce that the square was set up for the annual competitions. What do you choose this year? Okay, so... I don't have the organizing for Bake Off. I don't have persuasion for talent show. I don't have combat for Xeno wrangling. Because, yeah, they're just going to fight Xenos rather than robots. Come on, man. I guess we're doing trivia. Hal's too busy to organize a science fair, so you do a Helio tradition instead. Trivia night, hosted by Congruence. You, Tangent, and Nomi all sign up. I miss the science fair, Tangent grumbles. But I've been memorizing facts to prepare. Okay. Reasoning challenge. Hard. Blue, though. Very nice. These are low, but I think we'll synergize decently. Let's drop... first collectible use is free. Perfect. So 4, 5, 6 blue. Very good. If that's the only blue card... What have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3... No. Trying to figure out how to set up a straight on this one, but I think I might just have to be content with the flush. So 1, 2, 3, and let's just drop that in there for numbers. And then we can use this for everything to become blue. So, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Solid, but I think that we're gonna... no, that doesn't do it. How many... I have a lot of mushwood logs. So let's just make that a 6. And just because want to get that minus the stress in there. Okay. Kudos in reasoning. You get most of the questions right. All that studying and watching holovids definitely paid off. Nomi shrugs off their loss. Tang tries to, but you can tell she's actually kind of ticked off she didn't win. 8. Dang. After the festivities, the mood in the colony is a lot lighter. You see people smiling easier and often see mixed groups of Helios and Stratos socializing together. Feels like the first time people have actually let themselves relax. Okay, mid-dust. Let's see. Ooh, new perk from Reasoning Level 2, Autoplay Fairy. Autoplay Fairy sometimes plays the best hand for you. Qua? Qua? Nani? I guess I will understand eventually. Okay, first we're checking for speech bubs. Like right here. You find discs sitting in the mouth of one of the wall's drainage sewers. In wet season, excess rainwater is diverted out here so it doesn't flood inside the walls. In the meantime, it looks like Dis has set up a little base here with pillows and a stash of snacks. His alien communication device hisses with static. He looks from his hollow screen as you pop your head inside the drain. Hey Sabote, he says quietly before going back to the game he's playing. What you playing? You haven't heard of it. I made it myself. Fucking hipster on top of all this? You squeeze into the narrow drain and sit down next to Dis. On his holopad is a picture of Mars, and you watch him drag a match from the sidebar and drop it on her face. Little animated flames wiggle over the picture, leaving parts of it looking charred. It's pretty crude, but you think you get the point. What happened with Mars? Same thing that always happens. He resets the game and drags a bomb from the sidebar onto the picture of Mars. It explodes and the picture disintegrates. She booked my name down for every appointment with the nanoprinter because she thinks my clothes are always torn up and dirty all the time, so I got in trouble for wasting resources. I tried to tell him it was her, but Mars never gets in trouble. Everyone likes her. But it's fine. I don't need anyone to like me. I don't care if they hate me. I hate them. Where'd you learn how to do that? That's pretty simple. The lights from his hollow screen reflects in his eyes, and he looks at you in the gloom. People on Earth used to make this kind of stuff all the time. I have a lot of time to learn new things. Oh. Goes back to playing his game, content not to talk to you. Huh. I don't want to try. I really don't like Mars either, but he's gonna think negatively of me if I tell him that's unhinged and need help. And I think the same would talk to Mars. What do you guys think? Option 2 or 3 here. Option 3, says Griff Kuba. Why don't you just talk to her instead? Yeah, right. Talk to Mars? No way, she'll just make fun of me even more. Why should I bother? I don't care. That didn't really affect anything. Nomi! You find Nomi in the lounge, flanked by 2 holoscreens and doodling in a sketchbook with real paper. One holoscreen is playing an animated kids show, while the other's a wall of text that looks like it might be a translation guide of some kind. Their attention moves between the 3 easily. When they see you, they jump and quickly close their holoscreens, sitting up straight and clutching the sketchbook to the chest. Oh, hi, Sabote! How you doing? Is that in a different language? Well, yeah, Nomi says, wrinkling their nose. It's better in the original language, but the subtitles don't tell the whole story either. Nomi sets their sketchbook aside and looks around conspiratorially. I thought you were gonna bust me for jailbreaking my holopad. All the Helio kids have restrictions on what we can watch and for how long, but you guys have so many more cartoons than we had. They throw their arms up in the air. Like the first season of Turbo Girl Hyperjet Transform. What? Yo, I love Turbo Girl Hyperjet Transform. What? Nomi cries, slapping their hands to their cheeks. Really? It's the best cartoon ever made. What else has schoolgirls which look like aircraft from the waist down battling evil aliens while dealing with the stresses of high school life? Who here has seen Strike Witches? This is a judgment-free zone. I have seen Strike Witches. Switch to monitor capture. Schoolgirls that look like airplanes from the waist down. I mean, it's not 100% what it is, but yeah. I gotta watch it again, actually. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've sat down to watch an anime series, honestly. I've been doing so much other stuff. Almost caught up on Dimension 20. But, yeah. Anyway. Put that back to the actual game capture. You have to agree, you were pretty fond of the arc in the third season where Kamiya and Otoko disagreed about whether Haruka could truly be considered a hyperjet if she was part helicopter. The Helium Media Archive only has seasons 2 through 9 and only 3 of the OVAs, Nomi says, puffing their cheeks out. I can't believe in the 4th OVA, Flight Captain Yumiko gets captured by the aliens and brainwashed into thinking she's been an alien sleeper agent the whole time. You hadn't seen the first season? They shrug and poke one finger into their cheek. Spaceship kids make do. You don't have to know everything about something you like in order to call yourself a fan. Just liking it with all your heart is good enough. My god, this entire conversation I, like, quoted on Mastodon. Just... I think there was another part of this conversation that either in here... I have it set aside for just in case, but... Nomi laughs and flips over their sketchbook, showing off the drawings. I was drawing some fan art for the show. Well, it's kind of fan art. Okay, it's really more like if I was a character in Hypergirl Turbo Transform. Oh my god, I want to see your OC. Card to the right becomes wild. Hell yeah. What kind of aircraft would you be? Because cool, I have empathy 21. Oh my god, did I just barely... Oh, hell yes. Oh, and I can do a thing with Tammy? Maybe? No, I was able to, and then I lost empathy from something else, but... What kind of aircraft would you be? Nobody blinks at you, clearly stunned by your interest. Oh, okay, well, you see, all the cool aircraft are already taken, and it'd be rude to be a double. They press their tips of the index fingers together, and they look thoughtful. Sometimes I draw myself, my character, as something weird like a hot air balloon, but then I think, it would be kind of cool if I was the only regular human in the Turbo Girl Hyperjets. I don't know if it's that conversation or another conversation, but I have a quote set aside. It's about the choices you make, Nomi finishes. No one's just a good person or a bad person. Only bad people think they always make the right choices. Only bad people think they always make the right choices. This game, I'm not going to say that it pretends to be vapid and brainless, whatever, but its depths are still surprising at times. She's a Sith? Well, first off, Nomi is non-binary. They're a Sith. No, I don't believe that that's true at all. You spot Tangent leaning against the wall outside engineering. She's yawning, rubbing her eyes and staring off into space. Oh, Sapote, I was just taking a short break. Yawns are infectious, joining in yawn too. You stay up all night too? I don't even remember when I slept last. Might have been a few days ago. You haven't slept in 2 days? Oh, like 3. As I've said, I'm tired. Even my enhanced body has limitations. You look at her quizzically. I don't need to sleep as much as other people. It's a genetic... what's it? You know, DNA enhancement. I guess sometimes even I forget to do it. I should set myself a reminder. I thought I knew this about you. Does that knowledge carry between gameplays? Like, if I find that out about Tangent in one, then I get it in another? Cool. Yeah, so this was the reached friendship 50. Hollow, add to schedule, sleeping nightly, 2300, 3 hours. Her hollow palm emits a tone in response. I should do it, she murmurs. Her eyes are practically closed. Let's find her someplace to take a nap. She follows you obediently into the engineering wing, too tired to protest. You slip into medbay and grab a blanket and pillow off the shelf. By the time you return, she's already fallen asleep in an egg chair in the waiting area. Oh my god, excuse me. You gently place the blanket over her, and she hums happily before going slack with much-needed sleep. Anemone doesn't say anything as you approach. Vase can get bent. Okay, let's explore the new area. Survey the ridge, perception, and engineering. Both of which I could use. The only way to the resting ridges is by glider, part vehicle, part kite, and all adrenaline. You land on the rocky, broken-up spine of the nearest ridge, and nearly fall over when you look down the plummeting slope into the basin below. You are a long way up. Dis and Utopia gliding beside you. Whew! Utopia exclaims. You handled that glider like a champ, Dis. You too, Sabote. She peers down over the slope of the ridge. A lot more exciting than the swamps, right? I want you two to stick together out here. It's dangerous in those ancient convergent domain ruins. We haven't been to the swamps, Utopia. You won't let us. Convergent domain? Ruins? You look around. The landscape's like nothing you've ever seen before. Dry, cracked soil gives way to steep cliffs, and what little vegetation here is brittle and sharp. You can feel the dry air wick away the moisture in your lips. Wait, what the heck is that? Wait, what the heck is that? ... What's that cute little nose doing on your cute little face? God,
Let's run like hell.
all of the flirting options with Utopia are so inappropriate and lame. Ellis Ames, thank you very much for the follow. How are you doing today? We will find more mysterious devices, so I'm not necessarily going to rush that. Maybe we... What's the crystal stuff way down below? Oh, those? Utopia says, pointing to a crystal formation so densely packed in the ravine that it looks like a sparkling river. More outcroppings of crystals decorate the slopes. They're all over the place. Careful with them, not sure if they're animal, vegetable, or mineral. Good, and I love this game. Yay! Oh my gosh! Ditzy in chat here is also a fan of the game. This is my second playthrough, and it is going, I would say, quite well. My first time I got the botanist ending. So this is my second playthrough, so I ask that spoilers be kept. But I am often also asking for suggestions on what to do next, so you can use your knowledge of the game to help out there. She points off in the distance. There's a big island of them over there, like a glacier. Covers the whole damn place. Might be related to Convergent Domain, but we ain't sure yet. Oh, okay. And what's the stone structures in the distance? Well, there's buildings out here, Utopia says. Traces of them anyway. Maybe 10, 20,000 years old? We sure didn't put them there. Dis lights up at the prospect of doing alien archaeology. We checked them out, but not thoroughly. Mostly just trying to get a feel for who lived there, and why they ain't here no more. Based on some glyphs, we started calling them the Convergent Domain. Whoever they were, they built things to last. It ain't just arrowheads and cave paintings, there's real architecture. Machines even. Wait, what? Tell me more. Wish I had more to tell you, Utopia says. Most everything we found just poses new questions. The structures read more organic than anything. So does that mean their genetech was super advanced? As for this place, we think it was some kind of solar network for them, she says, squinting up into the two suns. Looking at it from above, you can see these big vines traveling up and down the ridges like power lines. There's hardly any plant life elsewise, like they soaked up all the energy and made it a desert. What do they use the energy for, she says. And if there was a civilization so big and so advanced on Vertumna, why can't we find more traces of it? Where are the cities? What were the Thumpers for? What happened to them all? She's right, that's a lot of questions. Maybe you can help find some answers. So we're at age 15. The Heliopause landed earlier this year. And the stream will end after Glow. This year is definitely taking a long time. We're going to grab the glowing thingy on the ground. We're not going to flirt with Utopia, weird and awkward. Beats me, you unearth the object, pulse him with light and warm to the touch. Hold up. Utopia says, don't go just picking things up, Sabote. Could be radioactive, you know. She waves her holopalm crystal over it to check her interface. Huh. Only a little. Only a little. Whatever it is, it looks old, like thousands of years old. We've been digging up glowing gadgets all over the region, but got no clue what they're for. You hang on to that one. Maybe you'll figure it out. So anyway, those ruins are the main thing we need you to survey when you're out here. But keep an eye out for anything else weird. Utopia claps the dust off her hands. Well, my job here is done. You're all set, kid. Try not to fall off a cliff. Dis jumps back on his glider too. As usual, he's going to scout on ahead and catch up with you later. How many times have you played through, Ellis? Is Ellis fine? Do you prefer Ames? What, anything else? But how many times have you played through? Or is it too many to count at this point? Ellis is fine. Alright. You haven't been down into the deepest crevices of the ridges, where the crystals grow thick and the air is stagnant and dead. It's already sweltering on the ridges, but in the chasms you can see the heat warping the air almost like it's a permanent fog. Utopia says the air is so thick and still, you can't even use your glider down there. At least one thing survives the haze, though. While you take a break for lunch one day, you can see flickers of silver dart in and out of the fog, like ripples of light on a lake. As you unpack your tiffin box, the silver flashes come up out of the fog and begin to surround you. They're animals, eyeless, almost translucent creatures about the length of your arm, trailing meters-long tentacles behind them. Their mournful hooting is magical and strange. You look them up on your holopalm. Oh, air squid babies! Wait, air squid are predators. Alright, physical, and we've got some good physical stuff here. What do we want to do? +1 to red cards. Let's make it red. 5, 6, 7. Next. Okay, no real reds in here. Where's a mushwood? 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. And now we can just throw numbers at it. It's totally fine. 4, 5, 6. Doesn't really matter. That becomes wild. Whatever. Make sure that we get our -5 stress in there. And win. I just started the game a few weeks ago. I haven't played it quite as far as you yet. Oh, wow. So, without spoiling things, because this could be spoilers then, as long as you're fine with that. The game is meant to be played multiple times. After you play through one time and you go through all 10 years, you play through again. But you know how, like when you first got the Sun Medallion, and it was like, oh, I've seen visions of this. I know exactly what this is. You're able to carry that kind of thing into future playthroughs, so that, I mean, one of the things in year 1 was Tammy dying. And so on subsequent playthroughs, you can be like, wait, I can't go get candy. Something's going to happen, and you can save Tammy. So, I won't, like, jump ahead to a bunch of things here, but yeah. So we're on our second playthrough, where we've got experience from playthrough 1 right now. Okay, +2 perception. Oh, our perception is so close to maxing out. You duck behind some roots and keep perfectly still as the creepy creatures float around and past you. They don't seem to be hunting for food. They must be on their way somewhere. Air squid adults are solitary hunters, but these juveniles form large groups and move together fluidly like schools of fish. Once they're a safe distance away, you take some notes on their social behavior. The oddest thing is how many there are. Hundreds of the things, but mature air squid are very rare creatures, more often heard than seen. Must be a tough life if so few of them reach adulthood. I wonder if the pack, like, reaches some saturation point, like some critical point, and then all of a sudden turns on itself. And whoever is the strongest in the pack ends up being the one that survives into adulthood. Thank you, Nightbot, for reminding people of ways that they can support the stream, but of course it is not mandatory. I am just glad that people are here. Okay. We're gonna keep to the right, seeing if we can find any of the yellow events. You're getting thirsty. You feel for your backup canteen, but it's missing. Somehow you lost it since you left this morning, and you're all out of drinking water. Crap, that's gonna pile on stress. The suns are high and hot in the sky, making the ground waver with heat haze mirages. Your mouth feels dry, so dry and your head is starting to ache. You're pretty far from the outpost. You can make it back, but that'd be it for this expedition. You'd have to go home. No, we're gonna search for water. Like, with this little stress, I don't want to head back right now. Boom. +1 for gems on other cards. We have another card. No. Boom. Next. Actually. 3. At that point, we'll just go with that 3. Alright. Hey, look, we have numbers. Super goal? Super goal. So close to maxing out perception. There's no natural... Oh, we came out on top with that because running out of water, -10, but for us was -8. Sorry, +10, but was only +8 because of our comm. And then -10 stress. There's no natural water around, but in search you turn up your lost canteen. That was lucky. Grab that. Every so often you see absolutely massive creatures here, like giant snake dragons with thousands of legs and shimmering scales. That kind of reminds you of Cal's pet socks, but on a scale greater than you've ever seen before. They're so large that if one crosses your path, you're in for a wait. Which is exactly what you're doing. The gargantuan dragon has been slowly lumbering over this ridge for at least half an hour, its body disappearing into the heat haze of the chasms on both sides. Its feet slowly undulate across the cracked soil, making shushing noises and scattering boulders in its wake. Yo, we're climbing up on its back. Let's go! The creature is moving more than slowly enough for you to climb up, using its large, soft spikes as handholds. It's going to take hours to get anywhere interesting, but from up on its back you can see further. Also, there are other creatures up here. You've climbed up right next to a cluster of dorbs moths, heads ducked under their wings like they're sleeping. And in the other direction, there's even a bush bub. Or rather, it looks like a pile of rocks and some twigs. Let's wait and see where it's going. A little bit of stress. Centimeter by centimeter, the Goliath makes its way into the chasm. You feel the air grow thicker and less hospitable, till the sheer density of the heat and drought makes you feel genuinely concerned for your safety. You climb up the creature's back segment by segment till you're back on top of the ridge, then drop down the other side. Scary. Okay, I guess we should have just crossed over. Thumper. You find your way blocked by a massive wall. No, a hollow pillar, knocked over and lying on its side in the sand. It's absolutely massive. It stretches to your left and right at least a kilometer in each direction, though at some point it's crumbled enough that you could likely scale over it. I know. I want a dilly pillar plush. Is that a thing? Has that ever been a thing? Anyway, let's get more engineering. Subscription box. An annual subscription box. The first year, you get a little baby dilly pillar. By the 20th year, you're delivered something in an 18-wheeler. Can you imagine a truck with a 53-foot trailer dropping off a single gigantic dilly pillar plush? Spyro, welcome! Sorry. I saw that I had a message from someone on Discord, and it's someone that got a copy of my book, and they're really enjoying it. Reading your book and really enjoying it. Love the clever, witty, and humorous dialogue in the researcher plot and the pirate plot. The scientific details on the researcher side and the pirate engineer's analysis are especially great. I always love that sort of description. Yay. Not to plug too hard, but if you're interested in a sci-fi book that people really enjoy, there's now a panel in the About section below. Oh, autoplay fairy perk. Once per battle, find a slightly better hand. Interesting. Not particularly really interested in doing that, but 4, 5, 6. Why did you get a +1? Why did you get a +1? No, hold on. Because I can't count. 5, 6, 7. Comes an audiobook too for those people who do not have time to read. Yes, very true. It is available in paperback, ebook, and audiobook. Actually, the easiest way is... Thank you, Nightbot. Okay, let's see. We've got some 4s. We got some 3s. Let's just pile up some cards here. That's fine. Just going for numbers, honestly, a bunch of the time. And super goal. More like Rigor Mortis, welcome! You missed a lot of shit this year. We have still only doing 1 year, but this year has taken a long time. At the beginning of the year, after our colony was destroyed by the invasion during Glow, another ship landed in our colony, and this guy comes out and is like, "Hi, you guys were all criminals and you're under arrest, but also, we're just gonna run the colony and you do what we tell you." There are 3 kids that came in on the Heliopause, which was the name of that ship. 2 of them are chill. 1 of them is not. I don't, very much like, rah, rah, soldier, haha, look at me, I'm a dick. But also, I'm not putting the effort into learning to get to know him. So I didn't go into it much in this, playthrough. I guess you need more organizing to really find out the background of that. But in a previous playthrough, I did. The short version, and I'm sure that Ditzy could tell you more, is that basically this group that left Earth was basically a cult. And they illegally left Earth to go settle another colony. It was like, wow, the apocalypse has happened, whatever, and we're like a cult, commune, something, doing our own thing. They stole a ship. That's an important part. They stole a ship to leave Earth with their whole commune and go to another planet. Short version. This looks giddy as you follow the pillar to its base, a large pyramid almost entirely lost under the sand. You brush away some of the sand and find that the pyramid is inscribed on all sides with pictures of, well, wormholes, you think. The pillar must have once stretched up into the sky. Maybe it was some kind of observatory or sacred building or just a monument to the wormhole. Mysterious. That was our group that stole a ship, whatever. The ones that showed up afterwards are mostly military, mostly soldiers, but they can't exactly bring us back to Earth, so they basically just took over the governor position of running the colony, and at the moment, the other council positions have kind of fallen in line under him. Okay, we're doing okay on stress. I would love to hit one of the yellow events. Let's pass that for now. Gotta go through this one. Perception is almost there. If we get 3 more perception... The sun goes behind a cloud and you feel a light splattering of rain. It sizzles into the dry, hot ground around you, providing a little relief in the heat of the day. Then you realize you don't see a single cloud in the sky ahead of you, and it almost never rains in the western resting ridges. The plants here rely on nighttime dew for moisture. Just run. You bolt for cover with your hands thrown over your head. You don't even care what's up there. You just know that it was no rain. I'm pretty sure that it was float cows pissing. Just relieving themselves like float cows do. And I would have looked up and gotten peed on and taken even more stress. There's a strange heat haze shimmer across the path ahead. Oddly, it doesn't clear up as you get closer. The mirage effect is very strong. The refracted air makes it look like there's a pool of water on the ground and plants waving around it, but something is just off about the illusion. You can't put your finger on why. Card to the right becomes a 5. Interesting. Card gets a +2. Let's do that, and then that, and then that. Just blow it up with red. Now we've got a bunch of 4s. Do we have a 2 to make that a bunch of 4s? No, we do not. 6, 7, 8. Fives and fours. Let's see here. 5, 5, 5, 4, 4. We're doing okay in stress, speak for yourself. The faster you move, the faster the mirage disperses. You approach cautiously. As you do, you realize what's wrong about the mirage. It's impossible. The plants on the other side of the haze are different. Not just wibbly-wobbly from the layers of air, but bigger, older. And it's a different time of day, evening, not morning. Then you see him. It's you. Through the heat haze, you see yourself in the distance walking towards you. You move to the edge of the mirage and peek around it, but he isn't there. You can only see him through the heat haze like some kind of doorway or mirror. Do we jump through? Call out or just watch? Perception is maxed. Collectibles respawn faster and more slots are filled. Oh, maybe I was thinking something else of being able to go around. I don't know. It's not dangerous at all. Griff Kuba says call out. I know there's a few people in chat right now, so I do want to hear what other people think. We could call out. I don't think it's going to answer, but we can call out. More like rigor mortis also saying call out. So I guess that's what we'll go with. Let's call out to it. You shout, "Hey you," and wave your arms and jump up and down. The figure looks at you curiously. You, it's definitely 100% you, staring back at you like a mirror. Your movements seem to disturb the image, which breaks up and fades before you. Behind it is regular morning, and now you're alone again. Weird. I wonder if we'll get that again. Yay, we can slip past all path-blocking explorer events. So, oh, Sim! You're enjoying a relatively uneventful second sun of taking readings for one of Utopia's geological surveys when you get a sudden premonition. The situation feels strangely familiar. Oh, you need to move now! You jump out of the way just in time to see Sim come crashing through the air where you would have been, grappling with a skyfish almost as big as he is. In the ensuing tussle, they completely crush the delicate scanning equipment you just finished setting up. Utopia's gonna get so upset. What the heck was that? You yell at Sim, who just shrugs helplessly while he holds the skyfish at bay. It's a whole damn mess. What's he doing bare-knuckle boxing with skyfish, honestly? The skyfish flops around pitifully, then springs back into the sky and flies away, trilling in distress. Didn't even look dangerous, really. Sobote, Sim croaks, and you turn your attention to him. Blood is pouring from a wound on his chest, or one of the skyfish spines must have pierced his otherwise perfect skin. It's the kind of thing that definitely leaves a scar, or worse. Holding the wound closed, Sim smiles sheepishly. I guess my future sight isn't always 20/20. But holy shit, are you gonna be okay? He waves dismissively with the hand that's not holding his ding-dang chest together. 'Tis but a flesh wound, he says, then smiles. Did I say it right? It's from one of your Earth movies. I quite liked it. He and I are similarly difficult to kill completely. He grins. You think it's just a coincidence that I'm always there at exactly the right time to save you. At night, when I'm asleep, I sometimes see visions of things that are going to happen. Or at least that could happen. My dreams aren't always true, Sim says, wincing as he applies pressure to the wound. The paths branch and converge. Time is more like a web than a line, I think. But always in the center, there's you. If anything, I kind of want to see about trying to romance Nomi Nomi. So I kind of want to go with I can see the future too. Like, there's someone else that I'm, like, actually interested in now. And I'm not going to look up a guide on them. Probably when I do a third playthrough on my own, I will. But, I can see the future, too. Excuse me. Nomi Nomi is tricky to romance. There is only so much time to do it. Also, I feel like Sabote would be happy to talk to someone else about it because no one else believes him. That's very true. Yeah, with Nomi Nomi, they only get, like, the normal friendship increases, so I really should look into what they like for gifts, but you can, Sim says. Well, you must not be very good at it either. You try to explain. You tell him it's kind of like remembering, but in your dreams. It's happened ever since you were a little kid, like you're remembering things that haven't happened yet. You admit that some of them are pretty rough, like visions of people dying. Sim nods in agreement as you explain. Some gardeners have this ability, he says, but it takes hundreds, even thousands of years to develop. It seems that you were born with it. Thanks, Mother Rigor Mortis. I can't tell you how this future sight works, Sim continues. To be honest, I do not even know. But if you were curious... He's clearly grappling with something, and not just the sluggishly bleeding wound in his chest. His voice drops. You might look for answers under the light of the wormhole and glow, he confesses. You press him for more, but he begs you to simply leave him to handle his injury in peace. Hey, you feeling better? I could use some less stress. You notice the puncture wound in his chest from the other day is gone. Wow, fast healer. -5 stress. Cool, what are we at? 85? We can do 2 more events out here. Let's see. That's blue, but it is talking to Dis. Dis is an entirely different person when he's outside the colony walls. Without people constantly trying to correct his asocial behavior, it's like he's blossomed into someone who's actually confident. The more time you spend with him out here, the more glimpses you catch of the real Dis. Bet you can't do this, he says, jumping... Oh, bet you can't do this, he says, jumping off a huge boulder and doing a cool roll at the end. Wait, I bet you can't do it with your eyes closed. I can. You and Dis cavort around, daring each other to do more and more dangerous things. Dis isn't scared of anything. You think you see something up on one of the plateaus above you. The cliffside's covered in convenient vines. Poor Dis acne. Okay, guys, what you think? Man, this year is going forever. Though doing a lot of exploring certainly helps with that, too. Dare Dis to climb up there? Dare Dis to race you to the next checkpoint? Or dare him to kiss you on the lips? Again, I feel like that just makes him feel weird. Sha-la-la-la-la-la, don't be shy. He gonna say goodbye. You gotta kiss the boy. He goes pale. What? No, it's not the same. You're cheating. Oh, you might have found the one thing he is scared of. He insists you pick a real dare. Okay. Well, it didn't affect our friendship with him. Don't be mean if you're going for someone else. Yeah. We tried. It was fun. Yeah. I'm glad that it didn't, like, affect things. Race you to the next checkpoint. Pretty tame after that last one. You're holding up. You're off before you even finish a sentence. Dis howling, no fairies, you leave him in the dust. The two of you run on and continue your day. So there is, I think, one relationship that can be poly, because not everyone is poly. Just like not everyone's sexual orientation is bi and open to everyone. Like not everyone is romanceable. Not everyone is open to being in a relationship with more than one partner. So not everyone is open to a poly relationship. But there's one or two that I think are. They're just quite tricky to do. Pick up a bunch of strange devices. Some yellow flowers. Looking for a yellow event. I think the boss event is all the way at the end here. Now that we have high perception, we can, like, max out perception, we can just go through things. Expeditions have been collecting Expeditions has, as a department, been collecting energy readings from this area, tracing the invisible ley lines of power like the one from the thumper that brought you here in the first place. They pointed you to this cave, a nexus of power at the convergence of many lines. You can feel the energy is different here, like a barely perceivable hum that prickles up the back of your neck, like something's watching you. It's likely this was some kind of important place for the convergent domain, Utopia says, leaning on her glider. I sent teams through, but it gets mighty tight in there. I'm hoping you and Dis might have better luck wiggling in there. Might be the caves inside open up again, and if they do, take plenty of readings and report back to me. Dis is vibrating beside you on nearly the same frequency as the weird power fluctuations. This is the real deal, he whispers mostly to himself. It's hard to shake the feeling of being watched. In fact, you're sure... Oh, yes. Of course. There he is. You can see Sim's mysterious form up there, watching from a nearby ridge. He holds his hand up in greeting when he sees you looking. Utopia nods and leaves you to it. What's the plan? We're going to either talk to Sim or prep the equipment. I think going straight in is a bad idea. I think there are a couple open poly relationships and one closed poly. Gotcha, okay. Which is like, if you're with one, you have to be with the other one. No one else outside of that triangle, I think. Yeah, I do like that different relationship dynamics are explored in the game. Since Riggy seems thirsty, that hydrate was for you. So, do we talk to Sim first, or do we prep the caving equipment? Maybe let Sim come to us. Wow, our persuasion is so bad. Like, I'm glancing at our stats to see what we're looking at. Also hydrates. I think maybe talk to Sim first, then we can head in. Talk to Sim, yeah. You ensure that Utopia is good and gone before you and Dis kick up your gliders and go talk to Sim. He looks delighted when you land beside him. You're getting warmer, he sings songs. Hot, very hot. He rests his weight on his hands and kicks his feet over the ledge. I'm not supposed to tell you anything, but it's just so interesting to watch you figure things out. Humans. So curious and so smart. Dis stammers and turns red. Looks like you're not getting anything out of Sim, though. You grumble and glide back to the cave entrance. I think Dis and Sim are... You get headlamps and a little recording drone with a floodlight attachment, a tiny buzzing flying thing that circles around your heads and sometimes illuminates... Oh. You get headlamps and a little recording drone with a floodlight attachment, a tiny buzzing flying thing that circles around your heads and sometimes illuminates what you want to look at. It's intelligent, which just means it won't do what you want. Dis bats at it in annoyance. Dis has a crush and or a praise king. Utopia has also left you an anti-grav belt with a warning to practice extreme caution when spelunking down there. They make you lighter so you can climb more easily and won't hurt yourself as much if you fall. Enter the cave. The narrow entrance leads to a bigger room that animals have clearly used as a den. It's enormous, with glowing mushrooms on the walls and piles of bones in some crevices. In some places, the walls are made of iridescent, convergent domain obsidian. Like this was once a great hall millennia ago. You can feel a cool breeze coming from somewhere, but it'll be tricky to find in the dark. I wonder if there's in-game canons or who ends up with whom if you're not romancing them. Oh, one of the first couple months, Cal is like, hey, so are you like into Tammy? I don't Yo, just ask her out, knucklehead. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I was thinking, I was hoping she'd make the first move. Tammy? Have you met Tammy? No, you're right. That's fair. Okay, thanks, Sabote. So, Cal and Tammy. And I think trying to date either of them would break them up. They might be a possible poly relationship, but I'm not sure. Yeah, like wanting to date one might break them up. Again, I read something on Reddit about it, and it kind of seemed like the people who were talking about it mostly weren't considering the poly possibilities, whereas one or two people were, so I don't know for sure, but I don't want to break people up. Cal and Tammy are going to have the most marshmallow golden retriever kids 100%. Alright, cool. Physical challenge. Let's do this. Milk and the squeeger. We've got 7. We've got... Oh, can I turn one of these cars red? Boom. +6 if that's blue. Alright, that's... just over a quarter of the way there. Card to the right becomes wild. We need to really... card to the right becomes wild. Like that. 5, 5. Okay, so we've got 4 of a kind, and we've also got flush. That's good. Can we do that better? I think no. 4 of a kind is better than flush all the way across. Where is our one that's it's only a 2. Okay. If I had more bobber fruits, then I'm like, oh, I could do that. All right. Okay, cool. 8's help. 8's help. Although I really don't know. Okay. And I do not have any spare stress to push through with that. So we're going to have to use items. What are we at? If I do a couple of +2s. Find a slightly better hand? Okay, what was that? That did 8, 4, 4, 3, 8. Instead of having... Oh, I see. So that does that with the flush. And now we can get away with 2 mushwoods. God, we have so many yellow flowers. Holy crow. How do we want to do this? Let's actually do that there, and then just drop a +2 on there and take that. Okay. You find the source of the breeze by tossing some fine sand in the air and watching which way the dust blows. It's a very tight crack. Good thing you and Dis are so small. You squeeze through and have to shimmy along on your bellies for about 10 meters, pushing your gear ahead of you. It's uncomfortable, but Dis's excitement draws you on. Past the crack, there are fewer signs of animals. The walls are smooth, grown obsidian, which has a kind of melted rainbow oil slick look. There are deeply carved glyphs in the walls at various intersections, like room designations or street names, you wonder? And other kinds of basins, alcoves grown into the rock, full of odd protrusions, all ancient and worn and inexplicable now. It feels homey. You come to realize the Convergent Domain must have lived underground. That's why there's so few ruins on the surface. As you follow the cave complex down, it's clear this used to be a well-traveled path. The corridors branching off to other places are now blocked off, as if a big earthquake has rattled the whole area. Only this one main path is still clear. It's too convenient to be a coincidence. The floor of the cave slopes downward like a slide, and it's quite slippery. More stress. You follow the cave system down, 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 all the way to what must be the bottom of the cliffs. You have to climb down a 3-story wall in the last section, and are grateful to your anti-grav belt for making it easier. You're still tired, though. You can see dim light below. Daylight? You emerge into a hidden valley, totally surrounded by tall cliffs. Did you just come down all that way? You're surrounded by the ruins of Convergent Domain buildings, in much better condition than the windswept ones on the surface. It's perfectly still here, and as quiet as space itself. What was this? Dis whispers reverentially. Some sort of Converger facility? Convergent Domain is what they're calling the civilization of the ruins here. They just came up with the name on this trip here as you showed up, because a lot of signs seem to converge on this spot. And it feels so familiar. You remember this place from your dreams and feel a throbbing sense of importance that is a bit unnerving. Something momentous happened to you here, or will happen to you someday. You poke around a little, then call Utopia and give her your coordinates. She swings down on her glider with extra ones for you and Dis tethered behind it. You're happy you won't have to climb all the way back up. She whistles. Great find, kids. This place don't show up on any of our aerial scans. It took me a while to find a route in. You look bush, she says. I'll stick around to get some readings, but you head on back to the depot and get some rest. Don't worry, we ain't gonna push on without you. Go home. Alright, gained a fair amount of engineering there. Good, good. Cool, love it when that splashes back up my nose. Alright, late dust. Wow, this is 1 year and it is taking some time. Does anyone want to talk? Let's say... Oh, more like Rick and Mortis. Let me introduce you to the new people real quick. We've got Vase. Vase is about 2 clicks removed from flat out ignoring you. Go bother Rex if you like him so much, he snaps. Just don't believe anything he says about me. You don't know the whole story and he'll lie to anyone to make himself look good. Cool. Love that for you. Basically, absolutely loves the whole soldier thing going on. Talk to Rex, though? Okay. Rex is sprawled out in the shade of a building, his tongue lolling out of his mouth. I didn't know the air could feel so hot, he pants. I wonder what's going to happen first, if I'm going to melt or burn to a crisp. Hug. He folds you into his arms, bending his whole body to you. He smells warm and a little spicy, with like clean sweat and sunshine. It's a good hug that kind of makes you instantly a little more relaxed. It's so cool you guys have people who aren't boys or girls too, Nomi says, twisting a long piece of their hair around their finger. Mom and Dad told me that sometimes people on old Earth didn't understand stuff like that, and your ship left Earth before, so maybe it was even worse then? But they were worried for nothing. Everyone's so nice here. I need high creativity to do that. Maybe next time I'll try to prioritize that for her. Okay, so we need to rest. And then maybe do engineering just to take advantage of Enlightened. Where do we want to rest? Let's rest in the lounge. Maybe we'll see how everyone's kind of coming together here. The old lounge is toast. What was left over from the attack last glow was destroyed in the crash. The new lounge just isn't the same. You miss the beanbags and the walls covered with art you scrawled as kids. Someday this place will feel like the heart of the colony again, but right now it just reminds you of how chaotic and horrible this past year has been. Everything looks different. Well, yeah, aside from engineering, all of this is from the new ship that crashed in. If you really want to know, I do recommend checking the VOD, but yeah, the new ship that crashed in, like, most of the colony was destroyed in the attack last glow, and then the new ship just landed right on geoponics, so... How do your parents feel about the new people? They don't seem totally thrilled. Okay, friendship with Tammy and with Rex. Do we want to forget a beautiful vista? A wild card is nice to have, but at 2, I think we have a lot of wild cards at this point, so... Oh, no, we don't. So Ditzy, that is recommendation to not forget that and we just move on, or not to keep it? Sorry, I forget how I ask questions, so I don't know what the answer is supposed to say. Any landing you can walk away from. Yeah, well, they had a lot of issues coming through the wormhole. Governor Utica, who we saved, was like, "You're not the captain." And everyone is like, "I'm sorry, you were talking to them on the way in?" And then Lum's just like, "Haha, I'm a dick." Keep the card. Got it. It does have a gem on it. That's nice, too. Okay, so we've got this Enlightened perk, so let's do some stuff to help with that. What is this? All mental skill increases. So let's head to engineering. Well, actually, first we check in, make sure... Hey, Dad wants to chat. You catch your parents muttering about the new governor and people from the heliopause. Your mom seems to be upset. The word fascist catches your ear. This might be your chance to ask some of the burning questions you've had. From a past life, don't bother, they won't tell you anyway. Oh, excuse me. Oh, Mom looks pissed. Is Governor Lum some kind of space cop? Your dad looks startled and tries to muster a friendly smile. Overheard us, eh, kiddo? Your mom gives him a warning sideways glance. Listen, Sabote, he hesitates and looks around nervously as if afraid you're being watched. You're just going to have to trust as adults on this one. There are things you're still too young to understand. I'm not too young. Your mom stiffens, but your dad motions to calm her. Thought the same about myself once. I was wrong. Helios came here just like us, looking for a better life. Some of them had other reasons too, but now they're here and we have to learn how to work together. When your mother and I were young, on Earth, we learned a hard lesson. We learned a lot of hard lessons. Do you want to share them with me? One was that it's safer to be led by one dangerous person than be attacked by an army of them. He lets that sink in. Another was that sometimes, when adults tell you not to worry, you should listen to them. Go on, enjoy your youth. He gestures towards the heliopause. Go get to know some of the new kids. I'm sure you'll find they're a lot like you. Accent light change to purple. Duly noted. Thank you. Oh, I have so many windows open right now. Where the heck is my control? There it is. Is that little guy back there? Okay. Dad, I agree about safer to be led by one dangerous person than attacked by an army of them, but one dangerous person in charge begets a lot more dangerous people. Topical tap dance! Before you can say another word, they're called back to work. There's still so much to be done to rebuild the farms and geoponics greenhouses, and you can see people from the Helio helping your parents. Maybe they aren't all that bad. Who else has some chatting to do? There's Tammy. Let's just say hi, Tammy. I didn't even read that. That was very rude of me. I was just like, you don't have a thing. Oh, Tammy stands at the door of the lounge looking across the colony. Oh, hello, she says when she realizes you're watching her. Do you speak to Cal very much? Does he ever talk about me? Oh, forget I said that. Oh, I want to encourage it. Feel so bad for how many times your mom has had to rebuild geoponics. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Again, I'm going to state, in my first playthrough, spoilers, Alice. Spoilers. Until these come out. Mom and Dad were both dead by now. Mom had died from famine the year before, and Dad died of shimmer in this pollen season. So both of them being alive is cool. And also, how do I know that they wouldn't tell me anything? Anyway. Anemone. Okay. Alright, let's go to engineering. Let's do a mental thing. How old are you now? Who adopted you last time? We're 15 now, and I was more or less just a kid of the colony. Like, I didn't really... No one kind of stepped in as a parental figure. Okay, so... if we want to get reasoning up, that's that. What's this? This is engineering and reasoning. Oh, yeah, we could do that. We'll get a ton of engineering from that. Then this is biology and reasoning. Let's study engineering just while we've got this mental perk. You hear a scuttling of metallic legs. What the heck? And a strange knee-high robot bursts into your engineering lab, going full tilt on its 6 spidery legs. It slams into a wall hard enough to knock itself down. Seems to be having trouble getting back up again. It's flailing its metal legs around dangerously. Yeah, we're going to fix that, because we do have at least 50 engineering, which gets us +3, not even needing to do cards about it. Haha! Professor Howell laughs sheepishly, coming in to find you playing with the obedient little bot. This one got away from me again. Always busting out of the robotics lab. Wow, robotics lab? It's almost like I was in there stealing a USB stick for Sim last year. Yeah, they put me in charge of the robotics lab on the new ship, Hal explains. Between you and me, You and me and this thing? I think they probably asked Instance first, but she was too busy. He watches you play with the bot. Hot dog, you're so good at engineering. You should work on the robots we have now. Unlocked robot repair and engineering. Nice. Holy crap. Plus 6 engineering. Is that? Oh, so close. Oh, that gets a plus from Nomi as well. Okay. Maybe we just... Well, let's... Again, we're going to do a quick check. See if anyone wants to talk. Maybe then we check and see what robotics work is like. We see what kind of perks we can get from that. Okay, no speech bubbles over anyone. Oh, no, I don't have Enlightened anymore. Let's still check out the new skill. Let's see what it's got. I didn't realize that was my last month of that. Okay, what have we got? This is engineering, creativity. I like that. Our creativity is kind of getting there too. And it's more engineering. Hey, even if we don't get the +1 from mental, let's absolutely do some robot work. Who remembered your birthday when your parents died? Oh, I think Aunt Anne did, actually. Anemone's mom. Anemone's mom. Boy, and I made fun of you for that. You're honestly pumped for your first day in the robotics lab. There wasn't enough room on the Strato for a proper lab, so for most of your life, you've been warned that the bots the colony relies on, like the watering bots and hover lifts, will eventually all break down for good. With a fully functioning robotics lab, you should be able to keep those bots alive and for a lot longer. Plus, there's all sorts of unused bots here. You look around and wonder at the wide array of chassis and shells. Maybe one day you'll even be able to create new robots of your own. You can't wait to show off what you can do. Hal gets you started along with Congruence who helps with the programming. I'm really just her hands, Hal says, laughing jovially. She's the brains behind the operation. Oh please, Congruence chirps. If anything, we're partners in crime. Where would I be without you, Hal? Congruence was straight up depressed last time because of Hal being dead. What are you excited to work on, Slobote? I kind of want to build something big. Like, there's so much megafauna on this planet. Dilly pillars and those big walking things. Hal considers this. We do have some automated vehicles, like the Robopaws and Expedition Autobuses. Maybe you'll have a chance to work on one of those. He lets you putter to your heart's content, happy to let you work at your own pace while he grades projects from his engineering class. If you have questions, Congruence answers them with her supernatural patience and cheer. You spend the day getting to know your way around the robotics lab, meeting all the bots you're going to be working with. These broken, forgotten bots just need a little TLC. Okay. 6, 5, plus 1, 5. Yeah, I get that +1 skill. 4, 3. That'll do it, right? Yeah, we'll just take that. +7 engineering, yeah. Oh, Ditzy! You were asking about cards at the depot. We got our engineering to the second perk, so now we've got more cards that we can choose from. I thought it was like, oh, it refreshes next year, but no, we've got our engineering up, so let's go see what that is. New cards in the depot. And we haven't spent kudos on, like, anything, so... Let's just check where everyone's at. No speech bubbles. There's Nomi Nomi. Maybe we do one more exploration day, because we skipped a lot of stuff in the ridges. Supply depot. All blue card values become wild. Vintage focus device. Plus 30 engineering. First collectible use is free. Plus 15 to all skills. Holy crap. Plus 15 to all skills. I mean, this doesn't get you to the, yeah, all blues become wild. That's pretty incredible. Alright, Ditzy wants me to get that. I will. And then I'll probably also get the brain trainer, too. Let's buy that. Alright, cool. Gear. Let's get rid of that. Plug that in. I love the item so much. It comes in handy. Yeah, that's going to be so good. Can I see? Okay. And then, even if I don't have this, the Bricky will still follow me unless I toggle, I assume, this. Yeah. So, but I think we're still going to keep that. But if I get that thing that's a plus 15 to all skills, that's going to be pretty incredible, too. Just need some more kudos for it. Okay, let's do more events on the ridges. Because we skipped a lot. And there's still plenty of stuff there, so let's finish that up. Then next time we'll look at more things that we can do to, well, obviously not so much during glow, but otherwise, yeah, we can find things to increase our skills more. Creativity's getting there. The path ahead is blocked by a field of snaking vines and brambles. They're flowering, enormous happy blossoms, swaying in the shimmering heat waves. You could push through them, but your hollow palm beeps a warning. A radiation warning. The flowers seem to be highly radioactive. Far too radioactive for the mild shielding your suit provides. Right, we've got engineering high enough that we should be able to, study this. Yeah, let's take a sample. And push through. Take some stress. And injured. That's not great. But having that to study would be great. I think that there's... Let's look and see if there's another yellow event here. I think there's always the boss event at the end, which is yellow, and then about midway through there's another yellow event as well. Sim, help with the stress, please. This area, I get so, like, turned around. It snakes in and out of itself a lot. I don't think there's a second yellow, because now we've been here. This is where the boss event was. So these are all just going to be normal events. Wait, no, what's that? No, that's a question mark as well. I think the yellow ones are all exclamation marks. I made an incorrect assumption and possibly wasted part of this day. Or this month. Oh well. Scaling a huge plateau when you suddenly overcome with an incredible feeling of peace. You've never felt anything like this. You literally feel lighter, like all your troubles have been lifted away. The feeling is stronger when you touch the rocky surface and you realize that it's radiating from the rock. Dis is sunning himself up on top of the rock, stripped down to his shirt. He looks up as your shadow falls over him. Oh, you found it too, huh? You feel it, right? Like you just feel happy here? That's why I haven't told anyone about this place. I don't want anyone to be happy. That's how they get you, you know. Once they know you love something, they can use it to control you. Deep, dude. Real deep. He doesn't seem to care if you're making fun of him or not. Must be the power of the rock. You're gonna keep it a secret, though. I don't want this place dug up and studied. It'd ruin it. Yeah, it's our secret. Let's do engineering. You do take a few readings, though, just because. All data is important. You mark down the location, but fudge the coordinates so anyone they send out afterwards will get lost. You wonder if the rock is natural. Animals seem to really like it. As you're taking readings, you watch a swarm of Dorb's moth basking on the rock as well, just like this. Yes, minus 20 stress. Let's just double check. Yeah, it's all just like regular events, so may as well do some of them. Hopefully we get more increases. I think, I don't know, like, so those things refresh every year, and I don't know if that one's going to be the same in the spot. You're trudging along when you're buffeted by a hot wind. No, like a very hot wind, lethally hot. The ridges are already baking, but all of a sudden it feels like you're trapped in a nuclear reactor. Your skin dries out and your lips begin to crack. Your eyeballs, excuse me, feel like sandpaper. You take careful readings from a distance, triangulate them, discover the source of the wind. A red, sports ball-sized crystal emanator hidden in a small crevice. When you smash it, it doesn't shatter like crystal. It almost looks like it could have been organic. Was it some kind of defensive barrier? Yet another weird mystery of these ridges. A precarious natural land bridge drops down sharply on both sides here. You kick a rock over the side but don't hear it hit the bottom. We're going to cross the bridge very carefully. Up to the highest height, +2 if it has the highest value. You shuffle across it slowly, examining the cracks and sticking to the solid places. You accidentally send a few more petals skittering over the edge and think, better them than me. If memory serves, it respawns in different locations. Alright, so it's probably like always going to spawn, but it could be in different spots. You treated to a spectacular sight, an enormously long caterpillar dragon kind of creature, way off in the distance, its thousands of legs and kilometer of shimmering body snaking in and out of the haze at the bottom of this chasm. It kind of reminds you of Cal's pet socks, but on a scale greater than you've ever seen before. It's Marvel. -5 stress. I probably could have taken readings and gotten some engineering out of it. But I think we call that there because we don't want to be full up on stress before glow. Okay. Alright, last month of the stream. Man, this has been a long year. Very 2020 coded. This will be your first glow with the noobs, yeah? Gonna be interesting for them. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we've been telling them about it, but... See, there's this. I want the... Oh, it did get... I'm like, the door's closed, I can't grab the crystal! I could. Okay, she doesn't have anything new to say, she's just got a weapon. This looks up at the dark sky with suspicion. It's like this for a whole month? And then you say a bunch of animals attack? Yeah. I hope you're on the front line there, champ. I'm sure they think it's nothing they can't handle. Yeah, especially, like, Vase has just been a blowhard the whole time. I cannot help but be a little comforted by the presence of the soldiers. Perhaps we'll stand a better chance during the next attack. It's been 3,000 years, actually, referring to last year. Cal's hiding in the shed trying to calm down Socks. Shh, it's okay, girl, he says, stroking her little head. I know glow makes you feel weird. It'll be over soon, it's okay. She always knows when bad things are going to happen. It makes me worried. Don't be a hero. Too bad, I'm always a hero. Hey, Gooseberry, you ever paid attention to the planet during glow? Feels different. It's like a hum, maybe from the plants. Heck, maybe the wormhole? I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, Rex and Nomi aren't out right now. Do you think it's gonna make a difference? The soldiers, the walls, the explosives, they're gonna keep coming harder and harder till we're dead. I think, what do we want to do today? Maybe more robotics lab so we get more creativity? Injured, or we could just rest. I probably could have gotten more stress, but, do we rest up? Oh no, xenobotany! Because we've got that, Back in the lab, you have all the right equipment to properly examine that radioactive plant you found. Maybe you can find a way to protect yourself from them so you don't need to drag a radiation-proof virus suit with you every time you go to that part of the planet. Radiation poisoning isn't the killer it used to be on Earth. With med beds, you can flush out deadly doses of radiation in a few hours. Could still make you really sick, though, and high enough doses could kill you before you're even able to reach a med bed. How confident are you that you know how to protect yourself? Engineering 40... I think we did this last time, yeah. All the precautions, you discover that it's confined to the carpel of the flower. Petals act as a radioactive shield. Okay. Well, still cool. +1 to all mental blue cards. And all blue cards become wild. Hold up! So by wild... It's a straight and a 5 of a kind? What? Oh my god! That's not what I thought it meant by wild. That's even more... Like, I thought it would be the wild suit. Oh my god, Ditzy, thank you! Okay, biology, whatever, it's fine. +2 organizing. You're relaxing in your quarters with your dad when you hear the colony siren. The enemy's here. Your dad looks up from his novel. Seems early this year. We should head to the shelter in the lounge. You've been drilling on new evacuation procedures for the past month. There's no need to be a hero now that there's so many new soldiers from the Helio. Probably best if you just follow instructions and head to the lounge with your dad. I think we go to the front lines. We find out stuff that's happening and we're gonna have to be able to make a difference one way or another, right? What do people think? We could just go to the lounge and... More like Rigor Mortis is going to leave it to the rest of chat. But... Griff Kuba says lounge. Yeah, usually these ones that have a requirement are going to give you some sort of bonus. And like I might have to do a card challenge. But we should be able to handle it. Ellis says front lines. I'm leaning front lines as well. We've done enough hero stuff. We earned a year off. No, that's not how Frontier works. You can earn a month off, but a whole year? I'm gonna go front lines, I think. With the tie, I'm gonna go front lines because I want to see what the event is. In the lounge, you just kind of sit there scared, and then you come out and it's like, here's who died this time. I feel like we should just let the idiots take a hit, but metagaming, yeah, looks like we get a benefit. Yeah, I mean... You muster with the rest of the defense forces at the gates. Rat and Lum are arguing about what tactics to employ. Lum keeps trying to rally the soldiers with a heartening speech about giving it everything they've got. All the drones, all the explosives, and Rat keeps cutting in. We don't need to take any big risks. It's a smaller attack and we have more than enough plasma rifles and turrets. We should save our other resources for when we do need them. Why do things halfway? Lum exclaims. We need to get in there and kick their asses back to the goo they came from. We need to show people that we have everything under control. For morale. Rhett tries one more time to wrest control of the forces back from Lum, but Lum cuts him off. Fire the explosive rounds! Arm the charges! Shells scream through the permanent night, followed by explosions you feel vibrate up through your boots. The Helios are unfazed, but you and the other Strato guards exchange nervous looks. You hear yelling, then another boom as the secondary explosives detonate. The bang of bloodthirsty animals reaches your ears, then... Lum holds his finger to his earspeak. Great work! Just the stragglers incoming! Open the gates! Open the gates? The fuck is wrong with you? Lum was on the right. That was Rhett to the left, who has been the garrison leader since we landed. Okay. +1 to red cards. But, cool. 5. Bop. Bop. Yeah, so those don't go for a suit, but... Rhett is good and smart. Lum is selfish and dumb. Yeah, let's just do that, and then we... Oh, hey, look at this! Boom. Unfortunately, yeah. Okay, 7, 8, 6, and another 6. And here, have that. You face off against a lesser Xeno, some kind of finned, semi-aquatic thing already half dead and limping doggedly through the gates. It's almost comical how easy it is to stun and kill it. By the time you're done, the other soldiers have dispatched the rest of the creatures. Smoke drifts in from the battlefield from the explosions, the acrid scent of triumph. After the attack, Lum gathers everyone in the lounge and holds a big celebration for the soldiers. There's feasting and drinking and songs of valor, and as the party goes on long into the night, some drift away in pairs or more. Mars and Rex keep the dancing going. Even Anemone seems to relax, especially with when the other cadets invite her to drink with them. Cal and Tammy sit together and talk all night, giggling about something and going quiet when anyone comes near. No, we saved Governor Utica at the end of last year. We actually did that during Glow. And she peacefully handed the reins over to Lum, a peaceful exchange, transfer of power, when he showed up. But she's still around. Tonight, everyone seems convinced that this victory means the colony will be safe forever. Maybe it will be. You sure want to believe it, too. Well, we'll see how long forever lasts next time we play. Got Sim up there, which is kind of easy to do. Got some friendship with Nomi Nomi. Before we save and exit, I do want to see what... Okay, nope, we're not where I thought I was. I want to see what the report is for colony defense. Notice board. Security rating 80%. Food supplies 300%. Governor Lum Command, Chief Executive Seek Command, Security Chief Rhett Garrison, Chief Engineer Instance Engineering, Chief Cultivator Flulu Geoponics, Chief Steward Antecedent Quarters, Chief Surveyor Utopia Expeditions. Okay. By the way, the phenomenon of repeating something like Nomi Nomi is called reduplication. I think I heard something about that, but alright. There's people. We'll have fun talking to all of them next time. Let's save the game. Ow. And we will play again soon. In the meantime, everybody, thank you very much for joining. This was a long stream. Last stream was long because we did 2 years, each of which took 2 hours. The one before that we did 2 years, each of which was an hour and a half. This was 1 year that took 3 hours. This was a very eventful year, and I was a teenage exocolonist. Excited for next weekend's? Nope, I missed that one too. Sorry. No. Do check out the VOD if you want to see more. Excited for 3 weeks from now when I finally watch the new outro. It's not the outro, it's the intro, the pre-show. So all that's on the VOD if you can check that out. Yeah, glad that you caught a bit as well, and we were able to catch you up at least a little bit. Oh, now that more people are in, really quick. I have all the panels for support and such down below, and this is the old Ko-Fi one, and I was like, huh, I haven't had that car in like 5 years. I should do a new one. And then I like this one, and then I realized with that location, I could also do this one, which still has the car in it. What do people prefer? 1, 2, or 3 for the Ko-Fi button down below. While you look at it, thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to give my voice a rest, go upstairs, and hang out the rest of the day. I hope that your Sundays are stress-free, that you spend them with people who are able to give you just those -5s in stress as you go. And I hope that it doesn't build up too much during the week, because we've got another fun stream planned out next week, Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, right here at twitch.tv/Boaterbug. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good one, and I will see you next time. But after the stream, I am going to set, I think, number 2 as the new Ko-Fi button. And yes, you did, more like Rigor Mortis. I kind of figured you would be biased towards it. All right, everyone. Have a great one. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. And I'll see you next week for more. Bye.